Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this non-district contest between the Brownsville Lopez Lobos and the Weslaco East Wildcats. I'm Carlos Robledo along with David Fox for this non-district contest where the Lobos 0-2 on the season, but they come in with a high-powered offense. And the Weslaco East, the Wildcats, 2-0 on the season, and they have just come into this football game here tonight with two big victories, and they're going to be up for a good matchup tonight against the Lobos.
That's right, Carlos. Weslaco East coming off of two big wins. They're averaging around, I think they've scored a total of in excess of 100 points in the last two games, and they're somewhere around 940 yards total offense between both games, put them at about an average of 450 yards. You talk about a high-octane offense, Weslaco East has that.
As far as the Brownsville Lopez Lobos, the Lobos here tonight, they're 0-2 in the season, but Coach Montemayor says that they are ready for a victory. And we don't want them to get it tonight, but this is a team from 32-5A, so it'll be a good matchup for Weslaco East, who's been playing 3A schools, but now they get to take on a 5A team from the 32-5A district. They're led by quarterback Danny Bettis, who has a quick stride offense. We talked to Coach Cuella before the game. They run the spread offense, something that East has seen already. They saw it against Hidalgo, and they saw it last week against the Lions. So the Lopez, of the last two games, have scored a lot of points, 34 points in game one, 35 points in game two, but they've given up 96 points a game, or not 96 points, but 96 points for those two games. But expect this football team to come out on offense. They'll come out here, and this Weslaco East defense will certainly be here, tested here tonight.
That secondary is going to be tested. You know, they bend and they bend a little bit, but they don't break. You got Alan Garcia, led by Alan Garcia in the backfield, and Alfonso Salinas. They've got 7 interceptions on the year. So, you know, you're going to put them to the test and hope that they hold up their own.
Michael Torres will be kicking off for Weslaco East. He's done a good job this year, and this one just a little dribbler down the field, and it's dropped by the return man. Then he picks it up, and he'll return it all the way down to about the 12-yard line. So that's where they will set up the Lopez Lobos. The return man on that one for the Lobos, and I'm checking my roster right here, and that'll be number 24, Ricardo Hernandez for the Lobos. He gets it out to about the 12-yard line, and the defense will come out. We've seen this defense over the past couple of games. They've come out. They're led by a Frank Ramirez, a defensive lineman, defensive end for Weslaco East. He's had an outstanding year so far. He's come out and put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. He'll be playing defensive end. He wears number 88. Look for him at home to disrupt things in the backfield. Danny Bettis is the quarterback. He's number 1 for the Lobos.
Just real quick, Chris Belmares and Rolly Alanis in on the tackle on the kickoff return.
It'll be a fake to the running back, and Bettis will look. He fires down the field. That's what we expected to see. And it is caught by the Lopez Lobos, and that'll be Juan Hernandez, number 6 for the Lobos.
Luis Valdez there on the defensive play, making a stop shortly after the first down gain there.
So it'll be a first down for the Lobos, and they get a first down right there on that first play. So once again, the Rene Guzman defense will be tested here by the passing attack of their opponent, like the last two games. Here we go, Bettis. Fake once again, but this time he's going to run with it around the corner there, but he's going to be stopped. And he'll be brought down by the defense right there. Rolly Alanis on the tackle right there, so he picks up no yards. It'll be second down. Oh, they'll give him about half a yard there.
It's just a great play by Rolly Alanis. He stood his ground. Looked like he was being blocked just for a second. Blocker stood him up, and he stayed there and plugged up that hole real quick.
So to bring up second down right there as Bettis tries to run it. This will be a multi-attack offense. They can pass, run out of this formation. You'll see him come out of the spread formation. There's Danny Bettis. In the backfield will be number 2 with the Lobos, or with the Bettis. That's Rafael Arispe, who's also back there. And here we go, a give up the middle. That's Arispe. He picks up a couple of yards, but not much, and that'll bring up a long third down for the Lobos. So after they come out here, get a first down on their first possession or their first play, this time it'll be third and about 4 yards to go.
That defense up the middle, there's Belmares, Garcia, and Steven Estevanes. You know, they've proven over the last couple of games that it's going to be very difficult to run the ball up the middle. They seem to plug up the holes real quick.
Ball just short of the 35-yard line for Bettis and company. Once again in the backfield, spread formation. They got 4 receivers. Also the slot, Arispe can also catch the ball out of there. So, but it looks like a little blitz formation coming in for the Wildcats, and they do come in fast. Quick strike down the middle, way over the head of the intended receiver. And that time we talked about Danny Pettis and how he's been a quarterback who threw for over 1,300 yards last year. This time just a little bit off. He stays in the football game on a 4th down and about 6 yards to go. We'll see what he has to do, but it looks like they're going to punt.
It looks like Victor Reese got in there pretty quick and put a little pressure on him, maybe caused him to throw the ball a little sooner than he wanted to. Coverage was provided downfield. It looked like Salinas had good coverage on the intended receiver.
Ray Greenwood will do the punting for the Lobos. And returning the ball will be Salinas for Weslaco East. It's a high kick. He'll pick it up about the 30-yard line. He's got a wall over here to the left-hand side, and he's bounced out of bounds. And he'll go out right around the 43-yard line. Not a bad little return there for Weslaco East. Alfonso Salinas there.
Salinas, one of those multifaceted players. He plays offense, he plays defense, and special teams. He can hurt you in a bunch of different ways.
So the Wildcats will come out here as they get the ball officially right around the 42-yard line. And they come out here looking to do some damage once again. Alonso Salinas will be the quarterback with a couple of running backs in the backfield. And they give to the pitch, the outside. And there he goes, Bobby Gonzales. As he continues to the 30, 20-yard line, Bobby Gonzales has one more man to beat on the first play of the game. Bobby Gonzales is gone for a touchdown, and the Wildcats are on the board here.
57 yards, no flags. On the replay, let's see if we can get a copy of the replay. You're going to see a couple of big blocks thrown. Aaron Munguia being one of them, downfield throws a huge block to spring him. Munguia, just a sophomore, getting a lot of playing time. That's that high-octane offense that we talked about, you know. And they can hurt you with a bunch of different players. It could be Bobby Gonzales, it could be Brian Guzman, Addison Einhorn, Albert Arevalo, Aaron Munguia.
Torres once again will do the extra point, and then we'll talk a little bit about the play. Let's see if we can get the point after touchdown right through there. Torres has been doing a fine job all season long, and once again, the extra point is good. So what was it, a 56-yard run or 58 yards?
57.
It was over 50-yard, 56, 57-yard run for Bobby Gonzales as he takes off. Just a pitch to the outside. He took off. Great blocking down the field.
Just tremendous blocking down the field. And let's also give Bobby Gonzales credit for hitting that hole quickly and making a couple of moves and cutting back to the inside. As he got down probably somewhere around the 10-yard line, the 15-yard line, I think Aaron Munguia was still down there, threw a big block that just solidified the touchdown for his teammate.
In 32-4, I haven't checked the stats lately, but you got to believe that Weslaco East is probably the top offense in the district so far. We know they're putting up lots of scoring over the past few games, 40, 50 points per game over the last 2 games. They've gone out there and done a good job offensively. On the first play of the game, offensively for Weslaco East, they score on a long run.
I think they have just in excess of 900 yards in 2 games, and Mercedes has 1,100 yards, but they've played 3 games.
You know, we talk about Andrew Alvarado the first, couple of games, but, we haven't had to talk about him after all because, after that, because with this big offensive line, they're able to just put some other running backs, whether it's Einhorn, Gonzales, or Guzman in there, and they're picking up big chunks of yards. So Torres once again will kick off from the 40-yard line, dribbler up the middle once again, and it'll be by the return man picking up about the 12-yard line. He goes to the outside. He's got a couple of blockers out there, but he will be stopped right about the 25-yard line, and that's where Danny Pettis and company will come back once again. And that defense didn't get a chance to rest too much, but they'll be back on the field.
That's Ubaldo Candanosa on the tackle there. Yeah, you're right. The defense didn't get a chance to get a lot of rest, and we've seen a lot of that in the past because of the high-octane offense that Weslaco East has. They score a lot and they score quick. But the defense holds their own. They're in great shape, and I think that's a tribute to the workouts that they've been going through in the summer months, and they're ready, and they're gonna hopefully put up another stop here and give that offense another opportunity to score 6.
And the way the Lobos have been scoring points over the past couple of games, over 30 points a game, they're going to need to put some points on the board or make some stops. We'll see what happens here tonight. So Danny Pettis and company at the 25-yard line. A little shifting going on right now by the East defense. Pettis back to pass. He's going to go deep down the field. He's got a receiver, but it is nearly picked off Weslaco East with the great coverage right there, nearly picked off by Alan Garcia, defensive back, playing safety back there for Weslaco East.
Looks like Garcia and Alex Solis were both back there. Great coverage. Garcia, I think if he would have intercepted that, probably would have been his 4th interception of the year.
So Danny Pettis, been a little off so far. The big quarterback, we've heard a lot about him. Coach Guerra said that he was a threat back there. Threw for 1,300 yards last year. And really not a team that's coming back from a successful year. We'll talk about that. The Lobos had a horrible year last year. So on 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Pettis once again. From the spread formation, he's going to have to pitch that one out, and he gets it to Arispe. Good little block right there. And Arispe picks up some yards there, running the ball as he runs it to about the 32-yard line. Coming up for the tackle, I believe, right there for Weslaco East was Salinas. Who else did you see there?
Actually, what I did see that you probably won't get to see on the replay is just an incredible. You're going to see on the screen here. Look at the big 88 over there. Frank Ramirez just stays home and makes sure the quarterback pitches the ball and has all the confidence in the world that cornerback is going to come up and make the play for him. He stays and wraps up the quarterback and puts him down on the floor. That's
the job of the defensive end right there, just to protect that corner. And that's what he did. Made him go to the outside. The cornerback, the linebackers had to go out there and make the play. 3rd down, a big 3rd down, and 3 yards to go for the Lobos. Penetration right here in the backfield for Weslaco East. And Bettis will turn around. He's got a lot of speed, too. He'll try to outrun Salinas to try to get around the corner, and he does, and picks up the 1st down. So Danny Bettis goes in one direction, tries to get away from Victor Ruiz. He turns around, and then he's pursued by Salinas. All he needed to do is get to around the 38-yard line. He does that and a little bit more to pick up the 1st down. Now you see a little bit of the speed by the Lopez Lobos. You see a little bit of speed by Danny Pettis and what he can do.
Showing a little versatility there. You know, Ruiz was in there real quick, forced him to do something he didn't want to do, cut back across the grain.
1st down and 10. Ball at the 40-yard line now for the Lobos. Weslaco East is leading already 7-0. It'll be a give up the middle. Arispe bounces to the outside. He's got a little bit of room out there. Picks up a 1st down, and he's brought down by Freddy Garcia. Freddy Garcia doing a good job of pursuing, but not after Arispe picks up a 1st down.
2 good little plays here by Lopez. Arispe gets to the outside, picks up a 1st down, and they're looks like they're in East territory. Looks like they're in the 48-yard line. Mounting a little drive here. Let's see if the secondary can come up with an interception here real quick.
Juan Hernandez, the wide receiver, brings the ball in. He's got a couple of receivers to the outside. Out there is Aaron Lopez, number 19, a wide receiver there for the Lopez Lopez. We'll have to keep an eye on him. But no, it's a give once again to Arispe. He finds a lot of room to the outside. Once again brought down after picking up about 12 yards. Once again brought down by the linebacker for Weslaco East. And this time it's going to be Ubaldo Candanosa who brings him down, number 45.
Looks like it's the same play they just ran to the other side of the field. Coach Guerra calls a timeout. Coach Guzman going to regroup with his players, kind of get them set on what the next few plays are going to be like, and maybe get them a little settled down and probably a little excited about the fact that their offense was able to put up 6 points in one play. Get them refocused.
Yeah, one of the things you got to remember right here that you are playing a 5A football team. You know, they played the 3As the past couple of weeks, or the past 3 weeks. They also had an open in there. When you play the 3As, you're playing against some teams that have a lot of guys that go both ways. You know, when you play a 5A school, they got more of the numbers. They got 40, 45, 50 guys on a roster, so you won't have as much, talent going both ways. So the guys are well rested. And once again, this is a high-powered offense. It's a quick stride offense with Danny Pettis and Arispe. We've seen already what he can do, so they're going to have to make their adjustments defensively.
You know, that spread offense is really dangerous, and like you mentioned, it's a very balanced attack. You've got obviously the running back and the quarterback, and we've seen what a spread offense can do with 5 or 6 players who can score from Weslaco East, and these guys are showing you what 2 guys can do.
They moved the ball. This drive started right around the 20-yard line. They're already into Weslaco East territory. Now at the 32-yard line, and two plays ago, they picked up 2 1st downs. So Lopez is on the move now. New running back in the backfield now. We'll have to check his number here in a minute. They're going to fake it to him, or not fake it to him, but he'll go out there and block. And Pettis now under pressure, looking to throw down the field. He's going to have to go out of bounds.
Big Frank Arevalo.
He'll go out of bounds and not pick up any yards, so the Weslaco East defense makes their adjustments. And Bettis, after picking up 2 big 10-yarders, that time not much doing.
Let's give a lot of credit to the secondary. They made sure all the receivers were blanketed and there was no place for him to throw the ball. Felt a little bit pressure coming in from Frank Ramirez, forcing him out of bounds. Remember, all this started on a 3rd and 7 play where he came from the other side of the field and just managed to get that first down and start up this drive.
This time he comes with 4 receivers, 3 on one side, 1 on the other, and you got Arispe in the backfield. They'll fake to him, and now Bettis will try to find some room to the outside and making some move, but the Weslaco defense is there. A flag will come down, and he's brought down hard by a host of Wildcats. We'll have to check the flag here.
Looks like there's going to be a holding play. There's just a bunch of people in the backfield. There's at least 4 guys wreaking havoc there. I know Big Frank Ramirez, as usual, is one of the guys that's there. Looked like Estevanes was in the backfield as well.
This will be coming back, or at least they'll be walking off some yards unless they decline and take a 3rd down there, but it was a holding call against the Lobos. We'll listen to the official right here. Yeah, since they didn't gain any, they lost a couple of yards. They said, you know what, instead of moving it back 10 yards, let's go ahead and just make it a 3rd down right here, because that's 2 good stops already by the East defense. Let's see if they can do it again and force a punt. So Arispe is in the backfield here in a big 3rd down, ball on the 37-yard line. 15 yards now to go for the first down. They'll need to get to about the 28, 29-yard line. So Bettis looking to pass down the field. He's got protection. Now comes a little bit of pressure, lets the ball go, and once again he's off the mark. So we've heard a lot about Bettis, but the past few times he's been way off the mark, and that'll bring up a 4th down, I should say.
That's Ramirez coming in there and putting the pressure on him, having him release the ball just a little too early. You know, at that time, if you look at the defense in there now, you've got Ramirez on one side and Arevalo on the other. Those are 2 big bookends. It's going to be hard to throw around those guys.
All right, so back to do the punting here for the Lopez Lobos once again. We'll check to see him again. Can't see his number right now, but he'll be doing the punting. Back will be Salinas to return the ball for Weslaco East. We'll see what he can do. He's right around the 10-yard line. And it'll be a fake. They're going to give it to Danny Pitt. He's got to go 15 yards for the first down, but he gets nothing at all. As the fake right there, I don't know what the coaches were thinking on that play, as he just takes the ball to the left-hand side. Nothing doing right there. Weslaco East stays home, and the Wildcats will get the ball in good field position.
Looks like that timeout was very well timed. They called a timeout, and the next 4 plays they stopped the Lobos for -4 yards, -6 yards. Great adjustments being made there by Rene Guzman and Coach Cuellar's defensive team.
All right, here we go. So Weslaco East back on the football field. The Wildcat offense. We'll check the backfield. I think we got Guzman back there and Addison Einhorn. Nope, not Addison Einhorn, but Gonzales is back there once again. And it'll be a give up the middle. Guzman right up the middle. He barrels his way forward for about 4 or 5 yards. Addison Einhorn, we weren't sure if he was going to play tonight, tweaked an ankle, and he was about 85% tonight, so we weren't sure if we were going to see him. So in the backfield, we have Bobby Gonzales, and also we have Guzman, Brian Guzman, who scored a lot this year already. I formation now. No huddle offense here for Weslaco East. 2nd down and 5 yards to go, about the 42-yard line. And they'll give up the middle once again. That'll be Gonzales. And it looked like with the surge of the offensive line that Bobby Gonzales comes close to a first down. He's still going to be a little bit short. Didn't look like he was going to get much, but that offensive line, that big offensive line, helps them pick up about 2 or 3 yards.
That's right, Carlos. That big offensive line anchored by the veteran Cat Salazar, 3-year letterman. You've got Joseph Garcia, Abraham Trejo, Eric Valdez, and Brian Maldonado, opening up those gigantic holes for these running backs.
Gonzales is in the backfield once again. He's in the tailback position with Guzman. It'll be 3rd down and about 1 yard to go, a long 1 yard, maybe 2 yards for Weslaco East. Guzman up the middle. Does he pick up the first yard? Comes close to it. He picks up the ball, and it looks like he picks up the first down right there. And this is going to be the type of offense that we're probably going to see here tonight. You need a more ball control type of offense, because we've seen what the Lobos can do offensively, score quickly or at least move the ball quickly. And so they want to keep that high-powered offense off the field. No huddle offense once again.
Good little run there by Guzman. He's a tough runner. You're going to hear his name a lot. You know, we've mentioned he's already got 7 touchdowns on the year in the 2-point conversion.
So Weslaco once again ball at the 49-yard line. And it'll be a pitch to the outside. Gonzales, he's got a little bit of room out there, and he's got some speed. You see what he can do at the ball at the 25-yard line, all the way down to the 10-yard. Nice little run by Bobby Gonzales, the running back. He already took one to the house, and now a nice long run for him. And Weslaco once again in Lobo territory.
You know, I hate to sound repetitive, but there's that kid again, number 23, Aaron Munguia, about 7 yards downfield, just takes the cornerback out of the picture and opens up a huge hole, allowing Bobby to get downfield. Let's not take away anything either from the right side of the line. Kat Salazar and Joseph Garcia making sure that they sealed off those linebackers coming across.
So the Wildcats once again in position as they are in the red zone here on a 1st down and 10. Ball at the 10-yard line. So we'll see what they got right here. And there's going to be an illegal shift of some sort right here. The give was to Bobby Gonzales.
You know, we talk about some of these plays, and you're going to hear us say the same things over and over again, and it's because these guys are doing the fundamental things that need to be done to make sure that this is a successful offensive team.
Didn't see the play right there. I was looking down at my roster, but it did go against Weslaco. It's probably illegal motion. So they're going to be, they brought it back about 5 yards. Ball at the 15-yard line now. Aaron Munguia also playing here tonight, number 23. Haven't seen Addison Einhorn in this football game, but you got Munguia in the backfield. Now he's in the fullback position along with Gonzales. Brian Guzman playing over here in the tight end position. Looking to pass now. Salinas looking to pass down the field, but they'll throw it underneath here to Munguia, and he'll only pick up about a yard. You were saying?
Looks like he had Guzman running on a little flag route. Maybe they'll save that play for a little later on in the game.
It was a play I'm sure the scouts up here in the press box saw. Maybe they'll run that later on, but little flare out to the side right there to Munguia only picks up about a couple of yards. So it'll bring up 2nd down and about 12 yards to go for the Wildcats. With Salinas, the quarterback for the Wildcats, calling the signals. In motion goes Guzman. That'll be a give to Gonzales, trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage as he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. This will be a critical 3rd down play here for Weslaco East as they try to put some points on the board. A long run by Gonzales to set them up right around the 10-yard line, but since then they've gone back.
Looks like they can still get a 1st down just inside the 1-yard line.
So Salinas will bring in the play, and we'll see what they do right here.
Looks like they got Guzman set up at the tight end over here on the left.
3rd down play, going to be a pass, looking to go down the field, trying to get it to our man who's already been hot this year. That is Albert Arevalo, number 90, the big tight end for the Wildcats. He's going to be the story of the year. People don't know too much about him. Last year he didn't catch much. This year already he's made his name known, and he scores a touchdown right here.
That's right. He's a big man with real soft hands. You just lay it up there, and you put it up, and he's going to catch the ball at the highest point, just like all good receivers do. And not a lot of people in the field are going to be able to get up that high.
Torres once again will do the honors at the extra point position. Alonso Salinas will do the holding for the Wildcats, as the Wildcats will attempt the extra point. It's up. Looks good from here, and it sure is. And the Wildcats already up 14-0 with 3:23 left here in the 1st quarter. It was a long run by Bobby Gonzales. So far it's been the Bobby Gonzales show here tonight at Sam Stadium as Weslaco East. They overcome a little adversity, a couple of penalties, and put points on the board with a nice little strike to Albert Arevalo.
You know, and you mentioned a good point there, adversity, and teams are usually defined by how they handle adversity and whether they can come back after they've been dealt a hand of adversity, and they sure did that during that drive. You know, they came down there, they got 3rd and 10 from about the 12 or 13-yard line. They were able to come up with a big play. Bobby Gonzales again with a big run. I think he's already over 100 yards for the night. Again, this is a high-octane offense. They can pass the ball, they can throw the ball. It just depends on what they want to do. How are they going to pick your defense apart? And as a defensive coordinator, it's a nightmare because you really don't know who's going to come at you. And we've said that, we said that last year, and we're saying that again this year. And I got to believe that for the next couple of years, this team is going to have the same type of offensive scheme and the same type of athletes that are going to propel them into the playoffs.
The JV won last night. They blew out their opponent. The freshman team won last night. They blew out their opponent. That's the future for Weslaco East. And then what players you have right now that are coming back for next year. The foundation has been set here. It's a solid foundation for Weslaco East. They got some players that are coming up from the under varsity squads, the JVs and the freshmen. So look out for this Wildcat football team over the next several years. Not just this year and next year, but several years down the road. So Torres once again will do the honors, kicking off. Dribbler down the middle once again. But this time it's going to be Arispe who picks up the football right around the 25, and he stays on his feet. Arispe picks the ball to about the 37-yard line.
It's Rolly Alanis in the tackle. You're going to hear that name a lot this year as well. Rolly Alanis, been out there since he was a sophomore playing linebacker position. He's the younger brother of Ricky Alanis.
Can't really count out this Lopez football team, and I'm sure Coach Gued is telling this team, hey, this game is not over yet. Yes, you're up by 14 points, doing a good job offensively. But with this quick stride offense, you never know when they're going to move the ball down the field. A couple of big plays for the Lobos, and then their drive stalled, and they had to punt. Or at least it was fourth down. They went for a fake. So Perez to Arispe down the middle once again. Not much doing there down the middle. Picks up only a couple of yards.
That's Belmares coming up from the linebacker position, and Big Frank Ramirez making sure that he only picks up 2 or 3 yards. We've talked about this before. It's going to be tough to run the ball up the middle. They seem to plug up those holes real quick.
The big problem for the Lobos has been their defense. They haven't been able to stop anybody, and it continues here tonight. Already 2 big scores for Weslaco East on 2 big plays. It'll be second down now, second down and 8. 2:47 here in the first quarter. 4 receivers, I should say, slot for the Lobos. I believe that's Arispe once again. And Perez, the quarterback. He's going to try something a little bit easier, but once again, he's been off the mark. Perez, his ball here tonight, everything he's thrown has just been a little bit high.
And that one was just a little bit higher than usual because he had to get that ball over big number 88, Frank Ramirez. He got his paws up there, and you're talking about having to throw the ball over somebody that's probably around 6'3", and then with his hands stretched out, maybe 7'5".
Oh, Frank Ramirez, man, he's been a terror here. He's been one of the defensive linemen, been one of the real jams for Coach Gued, for Coach Guzman out here, and last year scored a touchdown on a 90-plus yard return. This year already a couple of sacks. Big third down here once again, 3rd and 8 yards to go for the Lobos. Looking to go down. Here comes the pressure by Big Frank Ramirez, hanging on. He gets rid of it. Are they going to say he's down? No, they're not. They're going to say he got rid of the football, but it looked like Frank Ramirez once again with a lot of pressure in on that play right there, as well as some other players.
I don't know if you can see this on the highlight reel, but he just blows right by the guy trying to block him. You know, Frank Ramirez is a big guy, but he's really versatile. He's quick, and he's fast, and he knows how to maneuver around somebody trying to block him. Got in there and just forced the quarterback to throw something he didn't want to get rid of yet.
Nick Gonzales also back there, number 80 for Weslaco East, in on that play. There were about 3 guys back there. Didn't get them all. We know Gonzales and Ramirez were there. Going to be a punt once again. They won't be faking this one, that's for sure. They'll try to get rid of it. Salinas will be back. Ramirez with a little bit of pressure right there. He'll pick up the ball. No, he's just going to let it go. Got to get away from that one, guys. And the Lobos will stop the ball right there, right around the 31-yard line. So good game so far. 2:15 remaining right here in the first quarter. 14-0. It's a good game if you're a Wildcats fan, that's for sure. 2 possessions, 2 scores. Bobby Gonzales, the big highlight so far in this football game, with that offensive line doing a good job. Albert Arevalo with a touchdown here tonight. The big tight end with the soft hands, as Fox likes to say, doing a good job here tonight as well. He can also block. You got to remember about him. He's also one of the best blockers on that offensive line. First down ball at the 31-yard line officially here for Weslaco East. Salinas going to give up the middle. This time it's Guzman, the big, powerful runner. He's hard to bring down by just one tackler. It takes a couple of guys to bring him down. He picks up about 9 yards.
Nice little run there. You know, Brian's probably going around 6'1", 6'2". He's just a solid back. And, you know, earlier in the game, before the game, we were down on the field, and, you know, he's just a monster coming out of the backfield. You hate to see him, if you're a linebacker, and you see him coming out of the fullback position and know that he's going to just come run right over you.
Addison Einhorn still not playing here tonight. He suited up. He's got an ankle brace here tonight, not playing. Hasn't seen any action here tonight, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's a development here. I'm sure next week's game, a big one against Ed Calchelsa, Coach may want to, rest him up a little bit and keep him ready for next week's game. It'll be about short, maybe about half an inch short, maybe a couple of inches short there for Weslaco East. It'll bring up a 3rd down.
I'm sure there's a lot of scouts out here that are just trying to figure out how they're going to stop this high-powered offense. You mentioned Einhorn is one of the players coming back from last year that is an offensive threat, and he's one of those players that can hit a hole quick and run over a player, or juke a player, or just do whatever he has to do to continue that forward momentum. Let's talk a little bit about the guys you see up front. You've got, and I've mentioned them before, Joseph Garcia, Kat Salazar, Abraham Trejo, Eric Valdez, and Brian Maldonado. Those are the guys that open the holes. Those are the guys that make this high-powered offense what it really is.
It'll bring up 2nd down, I should say. That was 1st down. Just the first play of this drive here was a give to Guzman up the middle. So it'll bring up 2nd down, about 1 yard to go. This started about the 31-yard line for Weslaco East, this drive here. It's going to be a give up the middle. That's going to be Gonzales once again. He's been electrifying here tonight, and he'll take the ball, gets the 1st down a little bit more, finally stopped at about the 45-yard line.
Just another good run by Bobby. You see him, he's not the most imposing sights out there, but he's a lot like Andrew Alvarado in the sense that he runs tough and he keeps his legs moving, and when somebody hits him, he'll spin around, or he'll keep pumping his legs and run right through them, and that's a typical running back for Weslaco East.
Got a new runner now coming in for Weslaco East. We'll check our roster here in a minute. That's number 24, Manny Jimenez. Manny Jimenez in the backfield. Or actually, he's on the far side, lined up as a receiver. 1st down and 10, ball at the 45-yard line. Going to give Bobby Gonzales once again as he picks up a 1st down and a little bit more. He keeps moving his feet as Bobby Gonzales has really shown what he can do here tonight. Big runs for him. When he gets his hands on the football, it looks like the tacklers are just sliding off of him, and that's because he keeps his feet moving. Stopped at the 31-yard line finally after a 1st down.
It looks like Kat Salazar is limping off the field there. I'm not sure. Maybe he's probably just cramping up. Yeah, he's grabbing his foot, pulling it up to eliminate the cramp.
1st down once again. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Coming up at the end of the quarter right here. Wildcats going to have an illegal procedure. They're going to it's going to be coming on back. False start on the offense right there, so they'll move him back about 5 yards.
Looks like Peter Herrera is in, 54. Peter Herrera is in for Kat Salazar.
So Weslaco East moves the ball back a little bit right here. Ball is about the 36-yard line now. They need to get to about the 22-yard line for the 1st down. You got Jimenez, Manny Jimenez on the far side over there, number 24. And then you have the I formation here. Another flag, and is that going to be a clock violation?
Well, that's kind of odd. I don't know how you could do that.
Yeah. The clock should have restarted after the penalty, but yeah, it's a delay of game on.
Yeah, that's,
Weslaco East.
I think they're probably going to have to revisit that one. I know we don't have instant replay, but. That has got to be one of the most ridiculous calls I've ever seen.
You got Coach Qued over there looking for an explanation on that play. Yeah, he's saying the clock didn't restart. Coach Qued over there pleading his case, talking to the officials, say, hey, we just had a penalty that stopped the clock, and you needed to reset it. Got 12 seconds remaining here in the 1st quarter. Wildcats up 14-0. Now Coach Burgett is looking for an explanation, but they're not going to change the play. Or they're not going to change the call, I should say.
Well, there's that word again, adversity going to come up here, and how are they going to handle that adversity?
And this ball, they had the ball right around the 31-yard. That's the original line of scrimmage. Now they're all the way back to the 41. So here we go, I formation, same formation. Salinas going to give up the middle to Guzman, not much there. And that'll be the last play of the 1st quarter. We'll take a break right here as Weslaco leading by a score of 14-0. That is the end of the first quarter. We'll be right back.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I live the Army values.
I will never
accept defeat.
I am the guardian of freedom
and the American way of life.
I am the Army National Guard.
Defend freedom. Visit 1-800-GO-GUARD.com today.
Start of the first quarter, or start of the second quarter, I should say now, with Weslaco leading 14-0. Long ball on the 37-yard line. Second down and 16 yards to go. Passing play for Weslaco. Salinas under a little bit of pressure. He'll scramble to the right-hand side. Still looking, and now he's really in trouble. And he's going to be brought down. And he loses a lot of yards on that play right there. Salinas trying to go down the field. Nothing doing. He was trying to go to maybe Arevalo, who was down there down the field. But he's going to lose yards. Gets the ball. They're going to stop him right around the 50-yard line, 49-yard line. So it's going to be a third down and a long ways to go.
Yeah, he looked like he was trying to get to Arevalo. It looked like the primary receiver, the same play that they scored on earlier, but he was very well covered. Let's give a little bit of credit over to Salinas for prolonging that play and fighting his way and trying to get to a receiver downfield.
Third down and 29 yards to go for Weslaco East. Going to be a give up the middle to Guzman. Guzman finds some room, breaks some tackles. He'll be brought down about the 35-yard line.
That's Bobby Gonzales. And again, one of those patented moves, I'm not going to say patented that he had, but one of those spin moves that keeps breaking him free. And what happens there is a lot of times the first guy to hit him is going to try to arm tackle him. He's just going to be able to spin away from that.
That'll bring up fourth down, but it's a respectable fourth down. And Coach Guerra may say, you know what, I think we can get this back. It was second and 29 yards to go, but now you got about third down, about, what, 13 yards to go for the first. So they may elect to just go for it.
Looks like Alonso Salinas is coming in.
Yeah, you got the Salinas brothers in now. You got number 15 Salinas, number 8 Salinas. And they got about 15 seconds remaining on the time clock right here, the play clock. Yeah, but they'll still come out of the conventional running formation right here. All right, here goes Salinas looking to pass down the field, trying to go to Salinas. He's going to throw it into coverage, though. Good job by Salinas to break that up. As Salinas tries to go to Salinas, it was the post pattern you were talking about, but the coverage was there. Salinas got rid of it, and the Lobos will take over the football.
Yeah, very well played by the defensive secondary there. The safety looked like he probably seen some of that play a couple of times in film. Again, just they were put in a position like that because of those two penalties. You know, they had the ball on the 31, and then they had two penalties, and then they're on the 41. And a good defensive play by them put them back at 50. But you know, we'll see how they recover from that next time they get the ball on the offensive side.
It'll be first down and 10 for the Lobos. Bought the 35-yard line for Bettis and company once again. Looking to put some points on the board. They're down 14-0. But the Weslaco defense has been awesome here tonight. Bettis, or Arispe, I should say, in the open field now. He's got a little bit of space to work with. Finally brought down to the 45-yard line, but Arispe with a big hole up the middle. Usually there hadn't been much there all game long, but that time a big run for him.
Ubaldo Candenosa and Alan Garcia making that tackle, and that's rare that you'll find that hole there up the middle. He was able to get it and bust it open for a long little run there.
Got to be careful with this football team. They're a quick stride offense. You got to keep them on the sidelines as much as possible. Bettis has been off tonight, but if he finds his target, you're going to have to be, maybe that'll get things going for them. You don't want to put them right back in this football game. 9:48 here remaining before the half. First down and 10. Lobos now in East Territory. A little bit of movement on the play right there, but Bettis will go up the middle. He's got a lot of room. He's got blockers down the field too, but then he'll be finally brought down just short of the first down, right around the 34-yard line.
Looks like Belmares and Esteban is there with that tackle.
So this defense and this offense doesn't quit. They keep coming at you, so Weslaco defense will have to make some adjustments here tonight.
This is a big series, Carlos, because, we talk about momentum, and sometimes people really don't understand the concept of momentum and how it can play big roles in games.
Yeah, what momentum does for you, gives you a lot of confidence. Gives you a lot of confidence going into the next play, the rest of the game, and that can really be a big shift for them. Up the middle this time, Arispe. No, it's another running back this time. He'll go up the middle. Torres for the Lobos, and he'll pick up a few yards right there. Pablo Torres, number 23 for the Lobos, and he gets the first down.
Candenosa and Ramirez again in on that tackle, plugging up that hole.
So the Lobos, they make a stop on 4th down, and they move the ball down into East territory, trying to put some points on the board here. Another first down, 14-0, they're down. Ball at the 31-yard line, first down and 10. Bettis in the backfield, hasn't passed on this drive. This time he will, trying to go down the field. He's got a lot of pressure, throws the ball, just kind of releases it at the last minute. A flag on the play. We'll check the flag right here.
It's a late flag.
Yeah, it came really late. I don't know if this is going to be a personal foul late hit on Weslaco East. That's usually what happens when it comes so late like that. Illegal man downfield is going to be the call on the Lobos.
Take your hats off to the secondary once again for Weslaco East Wildcats, making sure that there wasn't anybody available for the quarterback to get the ball down there. And of course, big 88 Ramirez again coming in there and putting a lot of pressure on him, forcing him to release that ball.
So the Lobos now just shooting themselves in the foot after a nice little drive here. They go backwards here on that play, a 5-yard penalty, illegal man down the field. If you're an offensive lineman, you got to stay behind that line of scrimmage, just 1 foot beyond that line of scrimmage, and it's an illegal man down the field. So they'll come out here with 4 receivers. Got a running back in the backfield. I think that's Pablo Torres. And then Perez once again, fake to Torres, looking to go down the field. A little bit of pressure. He goes out of that pocket down the field, and that one right on the money. That one will go to Margarito Trevino, who's a catcher for the baseball team, but that one in and out of his hands.
A lot of pressure being put on him, forcing him to throw on the run. Alex Solis providing the great coverage for the East secondary.
So a couple of breaks here for Weslaco East now defensively, as you know, Perez had a little bit of pressure right there. Maybe he stays in the pocket, he could use the entire field, but he's flushed out. Had only really one receiver he can go to, and that was Trevino, but he couldn't hold on to the football. So it'll be 2nd down and 15 yards to go for Perez and company. We'll see what Ramirez can do. Ramirez, big old Frank Ramirez for Weslaco East. He's been all over the place here tonight. Arispe up the middle. He'll get back to about the original line of scrimmage, to about the 30-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd and about 9 yards to go.
Steven Esteban is plugging up that hole, making the tackle, and only allowing about 5 yards on that run. Big play right here, big play right here. Stop them, get the ball back, and the momentum will swing back in the favor of the Wildcats.
8 minutes remaining in the 2nd quarter. Wildcats up 14-0. This Wildcat defense will be tested right here. You talk about big plays. It seems like every time it's a 3rd down, it is a big play. But this defense, they don't want to give the Lobos any momentum, as we were talking about earlier in this football game. Pass down the field. Going to be to Trevino, but he's going to be stopped and brought down. Good job there by the Weslaco defense on a big 3rd down there. So once again, it'll be Rolly Alanis for Weslaco East.
Yeah, trying to pick on Rolly Alanis, and that's probably not a wise thing to do. You know, he's a seasoned veteran. He's played linebacker for the last 3 years. Very fundamentally sound player, and made the play. You want to give a little bit of credit to, looks like number 80 that was getting in there. That's Big Nick Gonzales, putting some pressure and causing the quarterback to maybe throw the ball with a little loop on it, and allowing Alanis to come up and get there really quick to make that tackle.
Yeah, he read that play all the way. 4th down, 7 yards to go. The Lobos too close for a punt. They're going to go for it right here. Bettis looking to go down the field. He wants to go deep down the field, throwing way off balance. That one almost picked off, almost blocked right there by Weslaco East. Alan Garcia in on the coverage as they try to go deep down the field.
Alan Garcia once again getting in there and making things happen for the defensive secondary. You know, they bend, but when you stretch them vertical, they don't break, you know, and they're going to be tough all year long. It's a seasoned group of defensive backs that are out there.
And Danny Perez just throwing off balance. He was leaning, he was going back. He just throws it out there, floated out. He's lucky it wasn't picked off. Alan Garcia doing a good job playing safety back there.
So, you know, those guys have a great nose for the ball. As I mentioned earlier, they got 7 interceptions in the last 2 games.
14-0 Weslaco East, 6:52 here in the 2nd quarter with Salinas and company now. Guzman in the fullback position. That's probably Bobby Gonzales in the backfield. It certainly is. They give it to him, and Gonzales has plenty of room. Well, it looked like he had some room out there. He did. But one of the defensive linemen or linebackers was able to drag him down. Just got a hand on the jersey, and Gonzales comes down, but he does pick up a good 8-9 yards.
Sometimes you talk about shoestring tackles, but that was more like a shirt string tackle. You know, if he doesn't get that hand on him, Bobby Gonzales takes the outside corner and runs it down there for about another 60 yards.
Gonzales will get a little bit of a breather right there. He's probably over 100 yards here tonight. In the backfield for him will be Munguia, and along with Guzman. Munguia in motion right there. Guzman just trying to get the first down, pick up about a yard, and he picks up about 4 or 5 yards on that play. And this offense, once again, real methodical, real ball control type of offense, able to move down the field, pick their spots. Good job by that offensive line. They get the first down.
You know, this offense is going to give you a bunch of different looks. There's still a couple of schemes that we haven't seen yet, and I don't know if we're going to see them out here tonight just because of the fact that, you know, big game coming up next week against Ed Chelsea Yellow Jackets, and I'm sure the scouts are out here, so I'm not going to show all the cards, but they're going to show enough cards to make sure that they are throwing the other teams off balance.
First down and 10, about the 41-yard line. 5:50 remaining here in the second quarter. Give once again. Guzman, the big running back, the junior running back to the outside, picks up a first down and a whole lot more. Guzman with a nice run right there. Brian Guzman for Weslaco doing a good job here tonight.
You want to talk about a power run. I wish we could pick this up on the video, but there's a cornerback that comes up that tries to get him, and he just stiff arms him and just leaves him there on the floor and keeps running down the field for about 10 more yards. Just the raw power of this kid. You know, he's, again, 6'1", running there full speed and just hammers at the cornerback.
Another first down here for Weslaco with 5:40 remaining here in the second quarter. 14-0, the Wildcats on top. Guzman again, up the middle. Finally brought down about the 37-yard line. Weslaco once again, ball control offense, not a quick strike offense. Sometimes they'll break the big one, but on this drive right here, well-controlled offense, taking time off the clock, keeping the Lobos offense off the field. And a no huddle. That no huddle will keep the Lobos defense also off the field, or at least making any type of changes. Second down. About 6 yards to go up the middle. Guzman, or I should say Gonzales there, comes close to the first down. We'll check the spot. Yes, it is a first down for Weslaco once again. Keep the chains moving. That's what you want to see.
That's right. They're running over that right side where Joseph Garcia and Cat Salazar. I noticed that Cat Salazar made a little gesture over to, looked like he was telling Bobby Gonzales, come my way, and I'll open up a hole for you, and sure enough.
Yeah, you could always tell who Cat Salazar is. Cat Salazar always has the towel on him. He's not the center, but he's the guard, so he's right next to the center, and he always has the towel, big old number 62. He's also the punter of this football team, opening up some big holes for the Wildcats. First down at 10, 5 minutes now remaining here in the second quarter, 14-0 Weslaco East in motion. That's Guzman. We just talked about Salazar, and one of the few times that he picks up a penalty.
You know, we've been watching Cat play for the last 3 years, and he's part of a group of brothers, and there are several groups of brothers that have played for the Wildcats. You got the Salazar brothers, Joe and Cat, and you've got the Alanis brothers, Ricky, Rolly, Alanis and their younger brother.
Salinas brothers.
The Salinas brothers, the Guzman brothers. I know that Brian has a younger brother who's a freshman who's playing ball at Weslaco East.
It's good to see that. Weslaco has come a long way from that 0-10 season, then 1-9 season, then almost making the playoffs shortly after that, then breaking through into the playoffs 2 years ago. And, of course, making it again last year. Once again, Gonzales. He picks up the ball right there, trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage to bring up a second down and about 9 yards to go.
You know, we were talking earlier about fundamentals and how this team is just fundamentally sound. I noticed again right now, Cat Salazar, and you know, we're talking about him. He's still blocking on his man until he hears a whistle blows. He's engaged with the guy in front of him and making sure that he's not going to be the person who tackles the running back. And that's just fundamental football. You know, you play and you play the down all the way until the whistle blows.
Second down, about 9 yards to go for the Wildcats right here. Been kind of a slow game right here after a couple of explosive plays in that first quarter. But here he goes, Gonzales, right up the middle. He's going to go in for the score. Oh, what a beautiful run for Bobby Gonzales, a 30-yard run for the touchdown to make it 20-0 Weslaco East. We'll have to check the flag. Oh, my goodness. Where did it come in? Saw it late.
You got to be kidding. What an amazing run. You're going to see Bobby Gonzales at the line jump over a pile of players and then just bust that thing wide open.
Yeah, but it's going to be coming back. Just saw the official just pointing towards Weslaco East. Didn't see the call. We'll have to listen to the official here in a moment. but it'll be a spot foul. So apparently he does. It's going to be a holding spot foul. Yeah. Yeah, so it was a holding down the field. So he still picks up the first down, but at the spot of the attack, or the spot where the infraction took place, it'll be a 10 yards back from there. There'll still be a first down and 10 East. 4:09 remaining in the first or the second quarter. 14-0 Wildcats. We were talking about how it's been a more, 5-10 yard runs, a big run by Gonzales to see if he can do it again. They'll give it to him again up the middle, but this time stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Maybe it picks up a couple of yards with that surge of that offensive line. It's that big offensive line here that has been controlling the line of scrimmage for Weslaco East. They have really been dominating this football game.
Looks like Carlos Square, 77, just checked in.
Nice night for football here at Sam Stadium. It's a historical stadium. This stadium's been around for quite some time. Both Weslaco schools have played plenty of football games here at Sam Stadium. Second down, 6 yards to go for the Wildcats. Up the middle, leading the blocking was Brian Guzman. Gonzales, there's a little skirmish right there. He does lose the football, but the official will say the Wildcats pick it up, and it'll bring up third down.
Looks like it's going to be about 2 yards short, 3rd and 2.
So after that long run by Gonzales, it's been more the methodical, the old, 3 yards, 4 yards, and a cloud of dust for the Wildcats the last couple of plays. As the Lobos defense is now starting to stiffen up here a little bit, down 14-0. Clock is still running at 2:45 before the half. Wildcats here deep in Lobo territory. In the backfield is Gonzales, Brian Guzman, the fullback. He'll go in motion, and once again, Cat Salazar, illegal motion.
I think what you see there, I don't know if you're catching the replay, Salinas is signaling for one of his guys to come in motion, and he doesn't, and I think the timing threw off Cat Salazar.
A little bit of a miscommunication here between the quarterback and his offensive line, so they'll have to get this squared away. Especially with, only up 14-0. Yeah, they're knocking on the door once again, but this is a time where you're deep in enemy territory. You're in that red zone right there. You want to put points on the board. You don't want going in the other direction. Those are some of the things you definitely need to work out before you start district play next week. Gonzales deep in the backfield once again. Motion goes Guzman. They'll throw it. They'll pitch it. Look to Guzman. Munguia there with a block in the outside, trying to run the corner, get the first down. Touchdown once again, Wildcats. A nice 16-yard run for the Wildcats, and Bobby Gonzales puts more points on the board. That's the Wildcat football we like to see.
That's the Wildcat football, the fundamental Wildcat football. And you mentioned it as the play was going on. Out there in the flats, taking out the cornerback was Aaron Munguia, making sure that the hole was opened up for Bobby Gonzales.
Flores once again for the point after touchdown right here to make it 20-0 Weslaco East. And I'm sure Cat Salazar, one of the senior leaders, he's a captain on this football team, can't be happy with a couple of penalties right there, but he'll make it up, I'm sure. And the point after touchdown is good to make it 21-0 Weslaco East. Nice night for football here, as I was saying during that drive. It's a little hot, a little humid. We're still in September. I believe the fall season will be beginning here this weekend. Of course, it'll take about 3 or 4 weeks before we really get any cold temperatures, any cooler temperatures here in the Rio Grande Valley. But no rain. We had lots of rain last week, but in the valley it's been kind of quiet here this week. Conditions here are pretty nice. A little warm, a little humid, but it's a good South Texas football here in September. Not too hot as it can be here.
Talk a little bit about that drive. That's a classic Weslaco East Wildcat drive. Very methodical, time consuming. I think they got the ball with around almost 6.5 minutes to play. Took off about 4 minutes off the clock. And again, they were able to overcome some adversity, which I think builds character for them. And those are things that they're going to be able to grow on. And some, a couple of penalties that they'll learn from, and hopefully won't make those later on when district play comes about. Yeah,
Coach Qued was kind of worried about this football game. He didn't really have a real good sense of his football team coming into this game here tonight. He was kind of worried that, he wasn't sure if they were really up for this game, you know, as far as being mentally focused, being pumped up, being ready to go. But they certainly are doing well here tonight. No matter what their focus was before the game, they're up 21-0. Torres will kick off once again. Dribbler down the middle. Arispe will pick it up. And he's got some speed. We've seen what he can do. He'll bounce it to the outside, and he's going to be brought down right around the 45-yard line. Good job by Weslaco, the pursuit team right there on the coverage.
That's Candenoso, Waldo Candenoso again making a play. He's said his name a couple of times tonight with Luis Valdez on the coverage there. It's probably going to be the best starting position that Lopez has had all game long.
And they're running out of time here, down 21-0. This quick strike offense so far has not put anything on the board. They scored over 30 points their last 2 games, but here tonight, so far, just a big fat 0. And that's a credit to the defense of Weslaco. 1:55 before the half, 21-0 Weslaco. The Lobos with the ball, 44-yard line, first down and 10. Danny Pettis, the big, tall quarterback for the Lobos. He's been the quarterback all game long, trying to go down the field. He'll get it to Trevino, Margarito Trevino. He'll pick up a first down and a little bit more. He gets the ball out of bounds. That'll stop the clock.
Nice little pattern there. He ran just right past the corner and right before the safety coming up, and just sat there, and they were able to get the ball to him.
So once again, the Lobos have done a good job of moving the ball. They just haven't been able to seal the deal. They get the ball deep into Wildcat territory, and then they just kind of fizzle out, unable to complete the drive. But this time, once again, they're in Wildcat territory. First down, ball at the 41-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock continues to move at 1:48 before the half. Been kind of quiet for that Wildcat Frank Ramirez defense. Here we go, but he's coming once again right off the side. They'll have to, you know, throw down the field, broken up there by Weslaco. Good job once again by Rolly Alanis in on the coverage. Also out there, Alex Solis, one of the linebackers. But talk about Ramirez. Been kind of quiet, comes off the corner, but look what they do. They run the play away from Ramirez, you know, just to stay away from him.
Just, you know, Frank putting pressure on there, and then Rolly Alanis, what can you say? Sacrificing his body, lays out, dives, reaches over, and bats that ball down before it's completed.
You know, but you'll see Ramirez, you know, right now he's over there on the far side of the field, but they'll move him to the near side. They'll rotate him around all over the place. Passing situation for the Lobos, 2nd down and 10 yards to go. They'll give, though, up the middle to Arispe. This is a play that has worked for them a couple of times here tonight. That time picking up about 5 or 6 yards, finally brought down to the 34-yard line. That's one way to keep that defensive end, Ramirez, in check. This time they'll go with a no-huddle offense now, the Lobos do, as they'll get the play from the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, 3 yards to go or 2 yards to go for the Lobos. High snap. Pettis will bring it down, looking to go down the field. Feels a little bit of pressure, flushed out. He'll pick up the first down, and a little bit more. Finally comes out of bounds. Led out of bounds there by Alex Solis and also Rolly Alanis.
Let me tell you what helped make that play such a short yardage gainer is he's swinging around to the right-hand side, and Ramirez is just stringing him out and making sure, sealing him off, that he doesn't get outside the corner so that the pursuit can come back, so he has to swing back, come to the other side, and he only gains about 3 yards. Just again, it's a fundamental play by Ramirez that kept that thing to a minimal gain.
Yeah, gap control. He stays over there. He stays home. But look what they do right here. They move Ramirez to the other side. So they move him around. He goes from the far side of the field. Now he's on the near side of the field. So you never know where he's going to be coming. 1st down and 10, 1:08 before the half. Lobos trying to put some points on the board. They've been shut out so far. Fired down the field. It's caught. And then nice stick. Who was that? Was that Alanis once again?
Alex Solis.
Yep, Alex Solis, the linebacker. He's a little small out there. You see him right there, but he comes up with a nice stick right there. So, yeah, the catch is made, but it doesn't pick up many yards.
Got a timeout.
Got a timeout by the Lopez Lobos. So let's talk a little bit about this Weslaco defense, because so far, yeah, the Lobos, they've been putting up some yards here. You look at the stat sheet, they're, you know, probably over, I don't know, maybe 150 yards here tonight. But they haven't put up anything on the board yet, and that's because that East defense has done a good job in the secondary, and also with Frank Ramirez coming off the corner, putting pressure on on Pettis.
And now you've got number 80 on the game, Nick Gonzales. So you got 2 guys standing at probably around 6'2", 6'3". As I mentioned earlier, they call them the bookends. You know, it's going to be tough to get around either one of them. You got them on both sides, and they're going to contain. And if you try to throw a little flare pattern, you're going to have to throw it over them. And they're both quick, and they're both agile, and it's going to be tough to get around them. Last time Weslaco East called a defensive timeout, they stopped Lopez for 4 straight plays.
Got 1 minute and 1 second remaining before the half right here for the Lobos to put some points on the board.
Be a good time for a little interception.
And they do a lot of passing, so there'll be some opportunities here tonight. Fake to Arispe. Here it comes once again. Ramirez down the field. Nothing really doing there. Great coverage by Alanis. Alanis staying with his receiver all the way. Bats that one away. I don't know if he batted it away. I may have missed that, but he was certainly there on the play.
You got, is that Dustin Pena? Dustin Pena and Alan Garcia back there in the safety positions. Just kind of playing center field, you know, making sure that nobody runs a deep pattern, and if they are, they're there to react quickly and jump all over that ball. A
lot of speed. We haven't even talked about that here tonight, but a lot of speed for Weslaco East, especially in that defensive backfield. 57 seconds remaining before the half. 3rd down. He's going to be a draw play for Danny Pettis, but he's going to be brought down. Nice little tape by the linebacker there for Weslaco East. Steven Estevanes just comes, well, actually, defensive line, linebacker, whatever. He made the play right there to bring up a 4th down for the Lobos.
You're right, Carlos. That is Estevanes. He just shot that gap and shut that play down, and it looks like Lopez is going to call another timeout with 4th and 6 and 50 seconds on the clock. You know, they got to really think about this because they don't want to give Weslaco East an opportunity to get the ball with any time on the clock because they've already shown that they can score quick if they want to.
Yeah, they move the ball quickly. The last 2 games, like we talked about, put some points on the board. Been shut out here tonight. This is really a good test for Weslaco East. You know, that first game against Hidalgo, new coach, new offense. Hidalgo really didn't look like they were ready for the season, I guess is one way of putting it. And then last week, or 2 weeks ago, or last week, La Feria once again didn't have that high-powered offense. This has really been a good test for the Weslaco East defense because this is a Lobo team who has their quarterback coming back from last year, who knows the spread offense, who can move the ball. Yeah, they were 1-9 last season, 0-7 in district, but they look like they can move the ball down the field. So this is really a good test for Weslaco East in that defense.
Yeah, I mean, again, you mentioned earlier, he put up 1,300 yards last year.
Yep.
1,300 yards. And this is a great test for him because it'll give him a kind of a view of what they're going to see in a couple of weeks when they face the quarterback, Albert Chavez from Mercedes, who runs a similar offensive scheme.
Yeah, good point. Ed Cauchel, some more of a traditional offense, but yeah, Mercedes, October 23rd at Bobby Lackey Stadium. Crossing our fingers, that could be a good matchup. So Pettis on 4th down, looking to go down the field. He doesn't have anything. Here comes the pressure. And who is that once again?
Number 80.
80, yeah, he was the other one you were talking about, a big, stocky guy. Does a good job. He has his hands up in the field.
Nick Gonzales.
Nick Gonzales putting the pressure right there. And we talk about the different weapons. Frank Ramirez on one side, Gonzales on the other, and they come up short once again, the Lobos do. 44 seconds remaining here. I'm sure Coach Burgett would like to put more points on the board. He's the offensive coordinator for Weslaco East.
That's about 43 seconds too many if you're sitting over there on the Lopez side.
Yeah, and I think they can do it. We've seen they've had the capability, especially Bobby Gonzales, the game that he has had here tonight, what he can do. Jimenez also coming into the field, on the field as a receiver on the far side. Brian Guzman, the fullback position. We'll see what the Lobos or the Wildcats do. Give to the middle, Gonzales, and he breaks one to the outside. Bobby Gonzales now at midfield, the 50-yard line, 40, 45, still moving, breaks a tackle. Look at Bobby Gonzales go, threading through the defense and scoring a touchdown. Oh my goodness, can you believe that? 69 yards for the score. Bobby Gonzales and the Wildcats, we were talking about time on the board. Yeah, they left too much time for Weslaco East.
You know, you asked the question, can you believe it? And I'll answer it real quick, and that's yes. I mean, Bobby Gonzales, when you watch this run, you're going to see him twisting and turning, and the defenders think he's going to the sidelines, and he cuts back to the middle, then he cuts back to the sidelines, then back to the other side of the field, and he just leaves them guessing. It's just an amazing run. You know, the people wonder, is this kid for real? Well, just in case you had that question on your mind, he's showing you tonight. Well over 150. I mean, you know, we'll check at halftime, but he's got to have close to maybe 175, 200 yards on the game.
Yeah, 3 big runs for him. This one, of course, the biggest one already. Torres with the extra point. It's good. Is it? Yeah, it sure is. It's good. And I think that's what you want to see. Yeah, you're up 21-0, but hey, when you're in someone else's field, you're in Brownsville, you want to put some points on the board. Your offense can do it. They're a high-powered, high-octane attack. As Mr. Fox likes to say, and once again, you see right here, Bobby Gonzales, it wasn't like a big just, he hit a hole and he was gone. He had to work for it. He had to go through the defense. He had to, some fancy footwork, break some tackles, keep his balance, keep his feet moving, and he found the goal line.
You know, he started that run off to the left-hand side and then he cut back against the grain on the right-hand side where Cat Salazar had opened up just a gigantic hole. And then the entire secondary just converges on him, and he made probably, I don't know, what, 6, 7 guys miss with just some jukes and getting them twisting and turning. And as I mentioned, you know, he broke to the sideline, so everybody converged him, and he cut back up the middle and just kept them guessing. A phenomenal run by Bobby Gonzales, just a phenomenal run.
That's been the big problem also for the Lobos, is giving up a lot of points. They've been giving up a lot of points here in these first 2 games. They put points on the board, but they also give them up. Sloppy, you know, just sloppy tackling on them.
Exactly. I was just going to make that point. You know, you can't arm tackle Bobby Gonzales. You can't arm tackle any of the Wildcats because they're going to get away from you. They're strong and they're big, and if they're not going to run around you, they're going to run right over you. So what do?
Torres once again. He's, you know, we mention him a lot. Does a lot of kicking with all the scoring Weslaco has done. This is going to bounce real high right there and get over Arispe's head and to one of the other up men. But he'll be brought down. Good coverage once again by Weslaco. Brought down at the 30-yard line. Munguia in on the tackle. Medrano, I should say. Art Medrano. Munguia with the run.
Well, looks like the Lopez offense is back on the field.
Yeah.
They just left when there was 44 seconds, and now you've got 25 seconds.
Yeah, Coach Cuero was talking about, you know, more of a ball control type of offense to keep the Lobos off the field because of that spread offense. But, hey, this defense has done a good job here tonight. My hat's off to the defense on what they have done here tonight. 3 games where they have really dominated their opponents. This one a 5A opponent. First down, 25.7 seconds remaining. First down and 10, ball at the 30-yard line. A flare to the outside. And this man is going to be, well, it looked like he had something going on. He spins around and then finally brought down.
Just a swarm of defenders. Gabriel Martinez finally making the tackle. You know, it's actually a completed pass. It took about, I don't know, 7, 8 seconds, maybe 10 seconds off the clock, and they actually lost a yard.
Ricardo Hernandez in on the reception. Yeah, he goes one way, goes to the other. Didn't really pick up much at all, but maybe lost a couple of yards on that play. Second down and 11 yards to go, they'll call it, and someone called a timeout. .12 seconds remaining before the halftime show here at Sam Stadium. Just the game totally, you know, just total domination here for Weslaco East. It happened against Hidalgo. The game was really in hand at halftime. Happened against La Feria, and here once again. You know, if you're a coach, these are the type of games that you want. You know, you don't want to be biting your fingernails. You don't have to go into halftime and make all these adjustments and try to fire up your team. This makes your job a whole lot easier. But if you get all your work done on the practice field and come over here and take care of business, you can enjoy the game.
That's right.
And I'm sure Coach Coed is loving this game here so far.
Absolutely right. And again, coming from the practice field, it's the fundamentals that you learn on the practice field that you carry over to the game that have allowed him to do this.
A lot of hard work and dedication also during summer workouts, hitting the weight room as well. Perez back to pass. Got a receiver, Margarito Trevino, catch the ball and tiptoes out of bounds. Picks up a first down. Nice little pass right there for Perez. Been a little off target with that one, right on the money.
That's because Ramirez wasn't in his face.
Yeah, and he got rid of it quickly. That's a design pass. Hey, you know what? You go down the field, turn around after 10 yards, and I'll get rid of it because I don't have much time. I got 3 seconds, not 4. So ball at the 49-yard line, first down and 10. I'm sorry, 43-yard line. Perez once again, he's been passing a lot here tonight. Ramirez, a little bit of pressure looping around. That one down the field is going to be picked off. It'll be picked off by Weslaco East. Is that Alanis?
That's Alanis.
Rolly Alanis, number 5 with the interception.
That's 8 interceptions on the year. And you know what? The good thing for Lopez is time has expired.
That will be the last play of the first half. The Wildcats on top, dominating this football game, 28-0.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Weslaco East High School Wildcat Regiment. Tonight, the stars perform a kick routine to a hit song made famous by the Knack. Here is My Sharona.
Oh my God, no.
I love my job as an electrical engineer for Raytheon Corporation, one of the world's most admired suppliers of defense and aerospace systems. I'm proud to be part of a team that designs an advanced airborne surveillance radar for the U.S. government. I'm able to do this because of the outstanding education I received at UT Pan American. I believe UTPA's engineering department ranks among the best in the country and played a large role in what I do today. UTPA made a difference in my life. It can make a difference in yours.
And here come the Aggies.
Back to second half action here. Weslaco East up 28-0. Carlos Robledo along with David Fox up here near the tuba section, and Weslaco East well in control of this football game. East Wildcats, like they've done before against La Feria, against Hidalgo, they were just blowing out their opponents by halftime, and here once again just commanding this football game, winning handily 28-0. Got a lot of scouts here tonight. I know Ed Cal-Chelsea, the Wildcats will play Ed Cal-Chelsea next week, and they're here tonight. They're open here this evening, so the scouts are in the stands taking a look at this football team. And what can we expect here in the second half, Fox?
You can expect a lot of smash mouth football.
What are we going to talk about?
Ball control. You can see a lot of the Bobby Gonzales show again. You know, we don't have the official statistics for Bobby in the first half, but I got to believe he's hovering somewhere around the 200-yard mark. Just a phenomenal first half for him.
Been good to see him out here. A breakthrough performance for Bobby Gonzales. We've talked a lot about him and Addison Einhorn and Guzman, who I don't know how many touchdowns he has. He's got 7 or 8 touchdowns already, but Bobby Gonzales now making a name for himself. As we talked about the different weapons that East has, add Bobby Gonzales now to that list of weapons who can get that football. And he'll be back to return the ball. He's right there down the middle along with Guzman. Also Moises Gonzalez here, Martin Delgado. He's number 25. And here's what a tremendous kick here. This will be a touchback all the way. Nice kick there by one of the Lobos. And so they'll get the ball at the 20-yard line. The Wildcats will here. We'll get that offense back. They won the toss at the beginning of the game. They deferred to the second half, and they decided to take the ball here on offense, up 28-0.
It's an amazing kick there.
Yeah, you got to remember Lopez Lobos, they got a great soccer team over there. Probably have a couple of players up from the soccer team playing kicking on the kicking field here tonight. Won a state championship a few years back. And the Wildcats will come out in their regular formation here, an I formation with one receiver to the near side over here. And then you get in the backfield, we got Guzman, and I believe that's Bobby Gonzales once again. Addison Einhorn not playing here tonight. We knew that could happen. And it is Brian Guzman right up the middle as he actually takes it off right behind Cat Salazar, I should say, so off right guard. He goes right down the field into the secondary, picks up a first down.
It's the veteran Salazar opening up that big hole, and Guzman getting 10. Looks like they're going to go into the no-huddle offense here.
Yeah, now they're going to start giving those scouts something different to think about, something different to game plan for. You know, the game is well in hand, and you might just see a more of a vanilla type of offense right here. Don't show too much of what you can do against EdCal Chelsea. That's going to be a big game next week. Guzman in motion. Gonzales with the carry. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, nothing doing right there.
You know, sorry about that, Carlos.
Go ahead.
You know, we're talking about what they're going to show in the second half. They've only thrown the ball 4 times, I think, the entire game.
Yeah.
And that's something that we saw in the last 2 games that they played. They were very well-balanced attack. They probably threw the ball 16 to 18 times. And, you know, Salinas is an extremely accurate quarterback. And, you know, they're not going to show that today. They're going to leave that, and hopefully the scouts didn't pick up on that from the previous games. But when they come out there full force, and when I say full force, I mean throwing the ball and running the ball, they are extremely tough to stop.
Yeah, definitely a high-powered attack here. A couple of men in motion. They're just going to have to reset both of them, or else it'll be, 2 men moving at the same time. So they just call timeout instead. So the Wildcats will take a timeout right there. You got 2 men in motion. When that happens, everyone has to be set after that play, but instead of taking a penalty, or it looked a little bit of confusion right there, they decided just to call a timeout.
Could have been just yet another example of the inexperience. You know, you've got it's only the 3rd game of the season. Some of these guys are playing at the varsity level for the very first time, and you know, I'm not going to say they were nervous or whatever, but just maybe got the plays confused on who was supposed to go in motion. Excuse me, a good heads-up call by Coach Burgett to get the timeout rather than take the penalty and avoid any negative impact from that play.
Yeah, and that's one of the things they're certainly going to have to work on. You know, EdCal Chelsea, not as good a team as we've seen in years past. They've lost a couple of great players, and they had that tremendous quarterback last year and a tremendous tight end. They're both gone. They graduated, but EdCal Chelsea is still EdCal Chelsea. They got a program over there. They got some good players over there, and it's going to be a tremendous game next week. So Weslaco, they're going to have to play not only good, sound, fundamental football, but also be mentally into that football game, and they're going to have to cut down on those mental errors going into next week's game. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Pick up a first down on that first carry. But here they go once again. Bobby Gonzales straight up the middle. And actually, that didn't see a 1. Was that a 3? No, it was Gonzales. Well, Bobby Gonzales straight up the middle so far. A couple of plays and nothing fancy. Just right up the middle. He picks up about 8 yards.
You know, Bobby hit that hole real quick. And again, Aaron Munguia lead blocking, taking on that linebacker and just, you know, pinning him to the inside and giving him the opportunity to run. It looks like they're running over the left side there. That's Eric Valdez. And I can't tell if that's Carlos Cuellar in on there. No, that's Eric Valdez and Brian Maldonado on the left side.
Ball spotted at the 40-yard line. 3rd down and about 3 yards to go for Weslaco. Give up the middle. This time it's Guzman. Guzman at midfield. And, yeah, you say look out because usually when he gets out into the open field, he starts running over people. But someone came up from behind, and then in front of him, they were able to stop him, but not before he picks up a good 10, 11 yards. Picks up a first down and more.
Look, that looks like the safety came up on it. I don't know if they're going to show the replay or not, but it looks like the safety came up to try and stop him, and he was running over the safety, and the guy actually caught him from behind, helped the safety bring him down. Again, more than at least one guy is going to take to bring down Brian Guzman.
Weslaco in business once again. 1st down and 10, bought the 44-yard line. 9:55 here early in the 3rd quarter. Now a little run. That Delgado.
With Munguia.
Or Munguia, I should say. Munguia is finally brought down at the 20-yard line as another running back. Is this the sophomore on the football team back there?
Yes,
running
sir.
With the ball?
That's the sophomore.
10th grade.
10th grade. You know, and it's good to see him getting the ball. He's kind of been a workhorse and been throwing a lot of blocks and opening up a bunch of holes, and Coach Burgett gives him the opportunity to get the ball and run on the outside. And so you see a different aspect of it. You got Bobby Gonzales now throwing the blocks and taking out the cornerbacks and giving Munguia an opportunity to run with the ball.
Yeah, you got Munguia, Delgado, who also carried a little bit. He did last week. We'll probably see him later on tonight in this football game. And then, of course, Gonzales has been your workhorse. Brian Guzman doing a lot of blocking, and he's more of your thunder type of football player. He'll go in there and knock people over. Whistle's going to stop, and this is going to be the 2nd time out already. So a little bit of confusion here for Weslaco East. And this is something you certainly don't want to see as the drive looking good here. That's a drive that started at the 20-yard line. About 4 or 5 plays later, they're at the other 20-yard line. But a couple of timeouts here because there's been some confusion between coach and quarterback. 9:16 remaining here in the third quarter.
I didn't see. Is that where they were trying to, or were they coming off a no-huddle offense there and trying to get a play in? Or that may have been where the confusion came.
Yeah, and you know, you got you don't have Addison Einhorn out there, so there could be some confusion with, you know, your sophomore running back. I'm speculating here, but yeah, whatever the case may be, just call a timeout, regroup. You're up 28-0. No need to panic now, but definitely you're in enemy territory. You're deep in Lopez Lobos territory. No use wasting a play here. Let's get things straightened out. Try to put more points on the board. Ball at the 20-yard line, first down and 10. Man in motion right there. And the Wildcats will come out. Give Guzman up the middle. Breaks the tackle, loses the football. There's going to be a scramble for it, but I think they're going to say that the Wildcats recovered it. That'll be a big break for the Wildcats because that one popped out as Guzman, usually sure-handed here tonight, or sure-handed during this season so far. That's his first turnover. And that one goes on the ground, but he still picks up 5 yards. Imagine that. Kind
of a weird play. He was actually trying to spin, and as he was spinning, the ball hit a helmet of somebody who was just happened to be at the right place at the right time. But like you said, you know, 5 yards and a fumble, and to get the recovery is good.
Second down, 5 yards to go. Ball on the 15-yard line now for the Wildcats in the backfield, deep in the backfield. That's Gonzales. They'll give it to him up the middle. He's got a pack of blockers up in front of him. It looks like he comes close to the first down. If he gets to the 10-yard line, that is a first down. But you had everyone running right up the middle, and just with the surge right there, he's able to pick up, I believe, or at least come close to a first down.
It looks like they're running over there on the again on the right side behind Cat Salazar and Joseph Garcia.
No huddle, 10-yard line, third down and short. This is where they usually like to do a quarterback sneak. We'll see what they do here. Salinas is the quarterback, but he's going to pitch it to the outside. That's Guzman. Wide turn. All he needs to do is get beyond the 10-yard line. He does, and the Wildcats pick up another first down.
That's 4 guys. First 2 guys, Guzman made the first 2 guys who probably could have stopped him in the backfield for a loss, made them both miss, and then it took 2 guys to bring him down. First down inside the 10 at about the 7.
Nice little run there by Brian Guzman. You know, he's really hard to bring down. You see them there even running laterally, running to the side. He's usually one of those guys that runs up and down, kind of hard to bring down, but there you see his balance, able to keep his balance, keep that play alive, and pick up the first down. Ball on the 7-yard line, first down and about 7 yards to go. First down and goal to go, I should say. Salinas, Guzman, barreling his way forward, picks up maybe a yard just from the surge of that offensive line. Clock continues to roll, 7:28, 28-0 Weslaco East in this football game. They've led from the very beginning. First play of the game, Gonzales was gone for what, a 59-yard run?
59 yards, first play of the game.
59-yard run, first play of the game. Offensive play, I should say, for Weslaco East. They did a good job of stopping the Lobos on their first possession. Lobos, a high-powered offensive attack, unable to get anything going here tonight. The defense has been just as good for the Wildcats. I formation now, here we go. Man in motion, that's Guzman. In the backfield, you have Gonzales. Salinas, your quarterback, going to go to the outfield, but now another penalty. And it's going to be a delay of game. We got a call from up here in the stands. It looks like it could be a delay of game. Motion. Going to be illegal motion. Yeah, this is, you know, I mean, you're up 28-0. You kind of lose your focus here a little bit. This is certainly something you don't want to see if you're a football coach, but, you know, that's what kind of happens. You know, you're up 28-0. You kind of lose your focus a little bit, and this is when you start having some of these problems. So they'll lose 5 yards. Ball will be spotted at the 12-yard line, second down. Goal to go. Clock continues to roll at 6:40. I formation once again. Guzman with the carry. He's got some blockers up front, breaks a tackle, and he will go in for the score. Do they give it to him?
Yes.
Or did his knees go down? No, touchdown.
That's number 8.
Touchdown for Brian Guzman, his 8th touchdown of the season, a 12-yard carry for him, the fullback. Yeah, he's about 6'1", 6'2". He's a big boy. He'll knock over some people. He finds the end zone right there. And the Wildcats come out on an 80-yard drive to put points on the board. And the Wildcats, once again, looking good.
Guzman, no stranger to the end zone. As you mentioned, 8 touchdowns on the year. And anytime you give him the ball inside the 10, it's going to be really tough to stop him because he's just so big and strong. And, you know, he twists and turns and keeps his legs pumping and gets into the end zone.
High snap. It'll be brought down by Salinas, and Torres once again will knock it through. The point after touchdown is good, and your Weslaco East Wildcats looking to go 3-0 on the season and get ready to take on EdCal Chelsea next week in EdCal Chelsea. They're up 35-0 in this football game. You know, next week I talked to some Panther fans, some people from Weslaco, I should say, and who have traditionally followed the Weslaco Panthers, and they said they're looking forward to next week as well. A couple of friends of mine want to go to EdCal Chelsea and watch that game, watch Weslaco East and EdCal Chelsea, because EdCal Chelsea, they're off, so they're going to that game undefeated. East will definitely be undefeated. I mean, can we get game of the week here? You know, can we get some media out there? Can we get 4 or 5? Can we get the monitor out there?
I'm not sure if EdCal Chelsea has lost a district game in the last 5 or 6 years. I know they've won 6 straight district titles.
Yeah, 6 straight titles.
I don't know if they've gone undefeated every season, but
yeah, I think they've, yeah. Well, they had gone about 3 years straight without losing a regular season game until finally they lost to Mishak Rivas and the Weslaco Panthers a couple of years ago. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, that's a good question. When's the last time they lost a district game? Dribbler right up the middle. We've been seeing that by Torres. Arispe will pick it up. He's looking for something. Good coverage once again by Weslaco East.
Looks like Candenosa again. You know, this guy is just making all the plays on special teams. Out there to make the hit along with Alex Solis and 33 Art Medrano. Good coverage downfield. They got the ball somewhere around the 36. You know, we're going to get to see a couple of adjustments, I'm sure, made on the offensive side of the ball for Lopez, and the defense, I'm sure, is going to tighten up even more. Probably shooting for that goose egg this game and try to keep the Lopez Lobos out of the end zone.
But with this attack, you got to be careful. We'll talk about Mercedes and Los Fresnos and what happened in that game last week. All right, here we go right up the middle. Arispe, he finds a big hole up the middle, and he's got something going now into Wildcat territory. Yeah, I don't know what the score was, but Los Fresnos was winning handily. I think they were up by about 24 points. And then it was 48. They were up 48 to something, up by several points. And Mercedes made a furious comeback in the second half. And they took the lead, or they were, 48-47 until Los Fresnos in the final play of the game came back and a game-winning field goal from 40-plus yards out to win the game 50-48. There's a run once again by Perez. He'll pick up a few yards. That time just a draw. He just tucks the ball and takes off running. And once again, this is what we've been seeing by the Lopez Lobos. They've gotten the ball into enemy territory. They've gotten the ball into Wildcat territory. Just haven't been able to seal the deal and put the ball in the end zone.
That's right. The defense has given up a couple of plays here and there for decent yards, but you know they tighten up their belts and they haven't allowed them into the end zone. One of the things I noticed is it looks like Alanis is out for a few minutes. I think he may have injured himself on the last play before this on the tackle that he made.
So Perez with a second down and 1 yard to go, bought the 36-yard line here for the Lobos, trying to get something going in this football game. This time just trying to get a first down. They needed about 1.5 yards, and it looks like they got it. Just taking the ball right up the middle.
It's Estevanes and Belmares plugging up that hole as they've done all year long in the middle. You know, we talk about this and how it's difficult to run the ball past those guys. You may get one by them, but you know, for the most part, they're going to stop you. That's
the defense. It's been a very, very good defense this year. This is a football team, Weslaco East, we're talking about, that is well balanced offensively and defensively. The offense steals the show because they put points on the board, but the defense has been just as solid this year. First down and 10 for the Lobos. Blitz look by Weslaco East. They'll come at you. They certainly do, and Arispe will get nothing. In fact, he'll lose about 4 or 5 yards on the carry.
Big Steven Estevanes coming in there, followed by, looks like Freddy Garcia and Frank Ramirez. All of them in the backfield. I don't even think that he was able to get the handoff. They were already on top of him.
And what's been interesting, if you haven't seen many stunts like that. You haven't seen them try to blitz or shoot the gap or anything. Just with a 4-man front, with big old Frank Ramirez coming off the side, they've been able to put pressure on Perez when he's tried to pass. Here we go once again, spread formation. Second down and long, about 13 yards to go. Looks like they're going to come at you now. Well, they'll send an extra man. A little bit of pressure right there. Margarito Trevino with the catch right there. He's made some nice catches here tonight, but that's a nice little completion there for Perez, and Trevino picks up a first down.
Runs a good little route there. It looks like just a little stopping pattern, and stops right, just plants himself right in front of the cornerback there. Looks like Alanis is back in the game. I'm not sure. Seems to not limping or anything. Maybe just had got winded or something. Took him out of the game for a second.
First down and 10 for the Lobos. 3:56 here in the third quarter. Time's been going by fast now here in this football game. 35-0. Weslaco East been dominating this game since the first quarter. Whoa! Weslaco East looking to go all in right there, and one of the offensive linemen just moved just a little bit early. They're going to say illegal procedure against that guy.
Yeah, he saw 3 guys coming at him, and he said, oh, my gosh, I better get moving real quick there. Changing up the defensive scheme, that's good. You know, make the offensive scouts for the other teams that are watching this game think about potential defenses that they'll be facing in the weeks to come.
Yep, I'm sure Ed Cauchelsa, even though the Wildcats are up 35-0, they still got to be scouting this football team here tonight. Look like they're trying to shoot right up the middle from the defensive backs. Perez, he's got to have a man open, almost intercepted by Alex Solis. He was out there, and that was right in his pocket. He couldn't hold on to the ball.
You know, it's the secondary that we talked about earlier. They've got 8 interceptions in the year, and that would have been number 9. They're averaging, you know, what is this, the third game, and they've got 8, almost 2-point-something interceptions a game. Tough to throw the ball against them.
Yep, and especially when you got the pressure. I think it's just a total team effort. When you got Frank Ramirez and you had that pressure coming up the middle right there, Perez just had to get rid of it. He just threw it out there where he thought his receiver would be, and said it was Solis. So second down, 15 yards to go for the Lobos. Once again, they're in the red zone, but they can't seal the deal. A little bit of pressure, throw it to the out, and it's caught. But good job by the defense as they're right there to stop him.
That's Condenosa again, and Alanis again coming in and making the play, stopping them short of the first down.
Yeah, nice little flare out there to Pablo Torres, but good defense right there. And that's one of the things that we've seen here by the East defense. When they get a hand on you, they're going to stop you. Good, sure tackling here. Fundamental football, we talked about that. But they've done a good job of wrapping up their opponents and bringing them down. You don't break a lot of tackles against Weslaco East.
Looks like Dustin Peña's back in the secondary now.
Certainly in 4-down territory for the Lobos. 3rd down and 3 yards to go. Got 4 receivers, 3 to the near side. Lopez is going to take off running right up the middle, trying to put some points on the board. He'll get the first down, and he'll take the ball to about the 6-yard line.
Got to give a little credit to the offensive coordinator on that. Just a great call at the perfect time. Had the defense spread out and opened up a big hole to the left-hand side and allowed him to get there.
Yeah, they can do that too. And also a quick snap on that one right there. Just took the ball and just took off running. You know, one thing we haven't talked about is that Wildcat offense. Not the Wildcats offense, but the Wildcat offense. We'll talk more about that later. Up the middle, nope. Bettis is going to keep it. He's under pressure, trying to get rid of it, or he's going to go for the corner. Yep, he slips in for the touchdown. So the Lopez Lobos, who have scored over 30 points a game, finally put some points on the board in Sam Stadium. Hey, give your boys a hand. You got to like the pride of the Brownsville crowd as they're still in this football game, down 35-0, but they appreciate the points that were put on the board there by Bettis and company.
It's a good little drive they put together there. You know, they went down about, 60 yards in about 4 minutes. I'm sure Coach Guzman and the crew wanted to get a goose egg, but you know, their defense just played a tremendous first half, and I'm sure they're going to play a tremendous second half. We'll wait for the kick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kick is up and good. Make it 35-7.
And it looked like Alan
2:14 in the third quarter.
I'm sorry. It looked like Alan Garcia got a piece of that. And I'll tell you what, I mentioned the last game we played. I went out on a limb and said that he will block an extra point at some point in time during the season. I saw him do it at least 3 times last year. He's quick and he lays out and he's not afraid to sacrifice his body to try and block those extra points.
So something to cheer about at Sam Stadium for the Brownsville crowd as the Lobos drive the ball down the field. Bettis finally put some points on the board. A little run out to the outside, far side of the field, able to get in for the score. Make it 35-7. This game has moved by quickly. It's 9:38 here on a Friday night. I know people watching this game are watching on a tape delayed basis. It's probably October now you're watching this football game, but It's been a pretty fast third quarter here.
Each team's had the ball once and both scored. That goes to show you that the adjustments that we were talking about earlier have been made by the offensive and defensive coordinators for both teams.
Finally, we'll see a return here by Weslaco East. You got Bobby Gonzales back there along with Guzman. Over here on the near side, we also have Delgado, number 25. But the last time they kicked off, it was a touchback. We'll see if it's done once again. Here's the booming kick, and yes, sir, it's going to be a touchback. Just let that one go, guys. And Weslaco East will get the ball at the 20-yard line. You know, there's some guys in the NFL that can't even do that.
Yeah.
So that's you got to give him a lot of credit, the kicker there for
what does that cover?
Lobos.
That's 60, almost 70 yards.
Yeah. Kicking off, that was number 25, Edward Naranjo. Sorry, that's 15.
Perhaps we will see the Wildcat offensive scheme come into play here. Or maybe they won't show it, and that's a scheme that they put into play last year to take advantage of the running abilities of Andrew Alvarado last year.
Right, yeah, the Wildcat offense where they just center the ball to the running back and he takes off running. All right, here we go. Now a passing formation, and they're going to throw the ball quickly to the outside. And we'll have to check that. We haven't talked much about him here tonight, but number 81 is Joey Garcia for Weslaco East, who makes the catch, and they give him the forward progress, and he picks up about 5 yards right there. So Weslaco East, we thought maybe they just come out running. No, they're showing everything here tonight. And you know what? You have to game plan for it. That may be one of the reasons why they say, you know what? We know the scouts are still out here. Let's show them something else we can do here. So second down and 5 yards to go. Once again, another quick strike to the outside. I believe that's Salinas out there. Alfonso Salinas with a nice little quick catch. We talk about him on defense. We talk about him on offense, but he loses the football. He lost the ball, so now the Lobos will get the ball in great field position. You know, we talk about momentum. It's a little bit of a momentum change here. Yeah, you're up 35-7, but I'm sure the Lobos would like to get back into this football game as much as possible.
2 quick strikes there. They come out throwing the ball. Unfortunate there that we lost it. Put a little bit of pressure now on the defense. They've got the ball on the 34-yard line. So this is definitely the best starting position that the Lobos have had for the entire game.
1:33 remaining in the third quarter. The Lobos now with the ball. Ball at the 34-yard line. Bettis is still in there. He's been there all game long. He's their stud quarterback from last year. And a little fake to Arispe, looking to go down the field. A little bit of pressure, and he's going to be brought down. Yeah, we talked about him before. Once again, Weslaco East coming up with it.
Nick Gonzales,
yeah,
that's one of the bookends.
Can't see my roster right there, but Nick Gonzales doing an outstanding job there on defense to put the pressure.
And we talk about adversity and how's the defense going to respond to the adversity, and they showed you in the first play what they did. It looks like they put him down for about a 7-yard loss.
And that time also, you got to be impressed. They just rushed 4 men, and they were able to put pressure on Bettis.
And Frank Ramirez is not in the game right now.
Could be taking a breather. Second down, 17 yards to go, coming to the final seconds of the third quarter. Give up the middle. That's Arispe. He's got some quick feet, gets back to the original line of scrimmage and a little bit more. Finally brought down about the 23-yard line, 24-yard line. Comes close to a first down.
It looks like he did get that first down.
It'll be a first down for the Lobos, taking advantage of that turnover, trying to put some more points on the board. 38 seconds remaining in the third quarter, 35-7. Wildcats dominating this game.
Ramirez now coming back into the game.
It's been all Wildcats here tonight. A football goes on the field here. Looks like somebody was warming up and lost that one on the field.
It looks like the kicker.
They'll restart, yeah.
The kicker was kicking into the net. Missed the net.
So they'll restart the play clock right here. He's got plenty of time, Bettis does. From the 23-yard line, looking to pass, trying to get it to Trevino. That one just well out of reach for Margarito Trevino, number 11.
Probably good that he didn't throw that ball because Alex Solis was all over the receiver. Just played that pass very, very well.
Bring up second down here for the Lobos. Lobos trying, playing for pride now. You're down 35-7. You like to put some points on the board. Even, this game is well out of hand. You're coming to the final seconds of the third quarter. You want to go out there and put some points on the board. I know some of the second teamers for Weslaco East are now playing, getting some playing time. You never know when they might be called up because of injury. Second down, Pettis loses the football. He's going to be under pressure now. Here comes Ramirez. He throws, he gets rid of it. And almost, that could have been either, a grounding call, but he got rid of it just at the last second as Frank Ramirez was coming in quick. You see his speed right there on that play.
That would have been a 25-yard loss.
Yeah, when Frank Ramirez is coming at you and you're the quarterback, don't run in the opposite direction. You just go down right there or get rid of that football. I'm sure that's one of the things also. We talk about the scouts. Yeah, they're out there. They saw big old Frank Ramirez. How do you scheme against him?
He's too quick.
He's too quick, and then, you got on the other side. You also have Nick Gonzales, the other defensive end, who's made some big plays here tonight. So we'll bring up a third down and 10 yards to go for Pettis. Ramirez is blocked down. It's caught. There's going to be a flag on the play, but this is what's going to be caught there by the Lobos. But we'll have to check the flag right here because this is probably going to be against the Lobos.
It's in that area where there's usually holding.
Holding.
There you go.
Yeah, it'll be holding, and it was against whoever was blocking Ramirez.
Well, that's really the only way you're going to stop Ramirez is if you hold him. Plain and simple.
Yeah, because Ramirez had a beat once again on Pettis, and then all of a sudden he was just brought down. And how do you stop a man like that? Well, sometimes you got to do something illegal. But he was caught. Holding.
I don't think the fans like that, but it looks like I can't really tell, but Ramirez looks like he may be limping a little bit coming off that. If you could see the replay, you'd see that the guy was actually holding him from his leg.
Yeah, because he was chopped.
Yeah,
he was chopped, and he tried to get back up. And usually, when you're a quick defensive end like that, you can just jump right back up there and get back in on the play. The lineman just probably held him, keep him from popping back up. So to bring up third down and 20 yards to go, 4-down territory for the Lobos. Down so much in this football game. So Pettis, not much pressure, throws it down the field.
Oh!
It's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. That one right on the money. Nice catch for the Lobos.
I'll tell you what, man, that is an amazing catch because he, didn't break his concentration. Actually took a big hit. Looked like Alan Garcia was in there delivering that hit along with Alex Solis, and the kid came up with a ball, and you got to take your hat off to him for that. Anytime you come across the middle like that, you always got to be leery of a safety coming from the other side, head hunting.
Aaron Lopez in on the catch for the Lobos. That's the end of the third quarter. We enter the fourth with the Wildcats leading 35-7. We'll take a break.
We believe that every deserving Hispanic student in the Rio Grande Valley should have an opportunity to pursue a college education. Vamos, the Valley Alliance of Mentors for Opportunities and Scholarships. If you're ready to share your knowledge and experience, become a Vamos mentor or sponsor. If you have proven yourself academically and need financial assistance for college, contact Vamos. Vamos, building your dreams.
Fourth quarter action now to begin here at Sam Stadium. It's the final quarter with the Wildcats leading 35-7. Lopez Lobos trying to put some points on the board to make this respectable in tomorrow's paper. And they got the ball here at the 9-yard line. The senior is Pettis. Arispe is the running back. They'll give it to him. He barrels his way up the middle, takes the ball inside the 2-yard line.
That's that bread and butter play of theirs.
Spread you out, run it up the middle. That's what they try to do. They've been doing that a lot here tonight. If you're the Lobos coach, you try to put as many points on the board and then see what happens because you got a whole quarter to go. And you always feel like you're still in this football game. There's been some crazy things that have happened in games. You just continue to game plan, just continue to play. Up the middle goes the runner. trying to get in there for the Lopez Lobos. Trying to put some points on the board once again. Quarterback sneak by Perez on that one. But he was kept out of the end zone.
Stopped short. It looked like Estevanes leading the pack there and making those stops.
Ball be spotted at the 1 foot line. Look how close that ball is right there. About a foot. Third down now for the Lobos. Weslaco defense now in their goal line defense. Bettis will take the ball, give. Or is he going to take it to the outside? Yep, he takes it to the outside. It was a fake to Torres. He takes it around the other side and goes in for the score.
That's a play that
35-13.
Coach Gued was talking to about earlier before the game, where they'll keep feeding it and feeding it and feeding it to the running back, and then eventually they'll wait, and the defensive end will kind of suck in because he feels like it's going to be given to the back, and then the quarterback will come around with the ball.
The extra point will be by Naranjo, Edward Naranjo. Almost blocked. You're talking about blocking extra points. That one almost blocked by Garcia. But the extra point is good. Wildcats still on top, though, 35-14. It's one of those games, folks, where the home team, our home team, is dominating the game. But, yeah, you're going to give up a couple of points. So we'll see what happens. All right, here we go. Weslaco will get the ball back here. See what they can do offensively. One of the things they want to do is get out of this game without any major injuries. Looking forward to that game next week against Ed Cauchel. So that's going to be the talk, not only of the town, that's going to be the talk of the valley. And if you don't believe in Weslaco East after a 3-0 start, you better start believing it now, because not only is this team winning, but they're dominating their opponents. They're dominating the teams they're supposed to dominate.
That's right. You're talking about a team that went 8-2 last year in the regular season. And pretty dominant performance against most of their opponents last year. And they're coming back with a vengeance this year and with a little taste of the playoffs from the previous 2 years. So they're hungry.
Naranjo, let's see what he can do going in the other direction. Yep. I think East was expecting an onside kick. They only had Guzman back there, but he kicks it out of the end zone. And the Wildcats will set up shop at the 20-yard line. We're from the tuba section here, folks. That's right. You hear the band, and you hear them clearly because they're right below us. It always happens when we're at Sam Stadium that they set us up right behind the band. They got a beautiful press box, but everything is taken, so we're out here, but we like it. Live, or not live, but on tape from the tuba section at Sam Stadium. The Wildcats leading 35-14, 10:41 remain in the game. Over on the far side of the field, Salinas. Once again, Gonzales, he's had a big game. Gets to the outside, he's got some blockers. He breaks some tackles. Nice hard nose running there by Bobby Gonzales. Picks up a first down.
Bobby Gonzales once again doing it on the ground. You know, he did it again. There was a little gap, not only wide enough for his body. He jumps over the guy that had just thrown the block. It looked like it was Munguia who threw the block for him. Jumps over him. The guy grabs him by the shirt. He spins it around as soon as he hits the ground and picks up another 7 yards.
First down and 10 for the Wildcats. 31-yard line for them as they continue to move the ball and just trying to finish out this football game at 10:26 remaining in the game. Not a lot of passing. It's been a running game. It's been the Bobby Gonzales show here tonight, and that offensive line as well. Gonzales up the middle. God, saw a big hole. Looked like he was trying to make the cutback, but he was met by one of the linebackers. Still picks up a good 7-8 yards.
It looks like he slipped right at the line of scrimmage. When he saw that hole, I think he was just like, oh my gosh, there's the biggest hole I've seen in my life. I'm going to take off to the left-hand side, and kind of got a little excited, stutter-stepped and slipped. And you're right, still picked up 7 yards.
That's one of those plays where you just need to take your time, let the hole open up, and then take off. Use your quickness and speed to get there. But he'll still pick up a good 7 yards. Second down, 4 yards to go. Picked up 6 on the play. This time it's Guzman. And it looks like he stumbled at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a third down and about 2 yards to go.
1 yard carry, 38 yards.
Clock continues to roll here at 9:24. It's been a nice night for football. I think we're going to get a little bit of a cool front next week. I said, and a cool front for us at this time of the year, it's going to get down to about 80. So maybe that'll make nice.
Get your sweaters out.
Nice weather for that Ed Chelsea game next Friday. Third down, 3 yards to go for the Wildcats. Let's see what that offensive line can do. Hit at the line of scrimmage. It didn't look like he got the first down there. Didn't see who run it. Was that Gonzales? 13, yep, he carried the football. He's going to be short of the first down. We'll see what the Wildcats can do or will do right here. They've been known to go for it on fourth down. Kind of put the final dagger on this football team. If they can run more time off this clock, maybe put more points on the board, and it'll just be another nail in the coffin. I think that the coffin's already nailed, but maybe you can just kind of seal it here.
That's good.
With another TD. Yep, they're going to go for it right here.
That's confidence in your offensive line. That's confidence in your running backs. 4th down and 1 to go for Weslaco East.
Yep, he'll keep the ball. Salinas,
yeah,
quarterback sneak.
Why not? Right behind the center. I mean, you know he's going to push his guy off at least 2 or 3 yards. That's Abraham Trejo.
That's one of those plays where you just go up to the line of scrimmage and you're the quarterback. You just look for that gap. Where's the open gap? You only need a yard. Quick hike, take off running into that gap. That's what he did right there. Picked about 3 or 4 yards and a first down.
Some people may think, wow, what are you doing going for it in your own territory, 4th and 1? But again, you know,
Confidence.
You've got a line that big that moves the defense that far off the ball. Yeah, why not?
First down and 10. And here comes the flag. There's been a lot of flags here in the second half. And it's going to be another procedure penalty against Weslaco East. Moving back 5 yards. 7:58, 35-14 with East with the football. We're late here in the fourth quarter. Not late in the fourth quarter, midway through the fourth quarter at 7:58.
You know, you'd like to think that East is going to put together a little 5-minute drive, go down, punch it in, and go up 42-14. But with the offense that they've got, you know, they may score in the next play.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, we talk about quick strike offense because you have the spread formation. But with that offensive line, they protect the quarterback and they open up some big holes. And they got a lot of speed defensively and on the offensive side of the ball as well. They can strike from anywhere. Guzman in motion. Salinas a pitch. That's Gonzales out there with a couple of blockers. But good sure-handed tackling by the Lobos. He doesn't pick up much.
That was Guzman in motion coming and sealing off the defensive end there for the play. But, you know, one of the things that we have not seen yet is Brian Guzman catch the ball. And he's really tough.
Yeah.
Once he catches the ball, what's called the rack yards, runs after catch, he's really good at that as well.
Yeah, we saw him against Hidalgo with some nice catches and runs running after he makes those catches. And he's hard to bring down, most definitely. It's a fun football team. A lot of fun to watch. Even right now, leading 35-14, it's a compelling game. Arevalo with the nice little catch right there. He's hard to bring down himself. That's the big tight end for Weslaco East, Albert Arevalo, who makes the catch right there. He's got already 1 touchdown in this football game. That time didn't get much. It'll bring up 3rd down.
First 2 guys that hit him kind of just bounced off him, you know. That's how big and strong Arevalo really is. And again, showing those soft hands, goes up, catches the ball at the highest point, brings it down and picks up a couple of yards. 3rd and 9. This may be the time that they look for Guzman. They like to do a little play action pass, roll out to the what would be to the left-hand side of the field, and you see Guzman line up that way, and he runs a nice little maybe 7 and out, 10 and out pattern.
Plenty of options right here. This offensive line will get a test also because the Lobos, this is probably where they'll try to bring a little bit of pressure. Plenty of time, almost intercepted. Ill-advised pass on that one by Salinas. Trying to get it out to his receiver, but that time nothing doing. Joey Garcia, the intended receiver, almost picked off. That'll bring up 4th down, and this time Cat Salazar, yeah. Cat Salazar will come out here. He is one of those guys that's multi-talented on the powerlifting team. Won a silver medal last year in powerlifting. He's all district at the offensive line, and he's also the punter. He was as a sophomore, he was an all-district punter. This will be his first punt of the game here. Handles this one well. Not a great punt, good hang time. Didn't go too far though.
You know what we haven't seen Cat do in 3 years, and maybe someday he'll implement, is throw the ball.
Fake
it, throw it. They got him on the hands team on the kickoff, so he's got to be, you know, extremely versatile.
Well, you know, and you got to have that fake in there somehow. So there's several variations of running the fake punt. That could be one of them. So they punt the ball away. The Lobos will get the ball back. Their last 2 possessions, they put points on the board, one after a turnover. But this time they'll have to start from about the 36-yard line. 5:55 remaining in the game. 35-14 East on top. They've been dominating since the beginning of this game. Coach Guerra wasn't too sure how they were going to come out. You know, didn't really have a good feel for his team, but they've looked sharp here tonight. Got to clean up a couple of mental errors, but other than that, they look good. That spread formation once again for Pettis and company. Looking to pass, got Arispe in the option. He'll pass it out there, but great job there by Weslaco East. Just an offense, just a great job by the linebacker stringing things out. Ubaldo Candenosa just staying out there, got rid of his blocker and made the tackle.
2 guys made that play happen. That's 88, which is, you know,
Frank Ramirez.
Frank Ramirez been making plays all day. Stays at home, forces the quarterback to pitch to the running back coming around the side, and then Candenosa stringing it out, and taking him all the way to the sidelines and bringing him down.
Second down. Clock still rolling. 5:20. Pettis, he wants to pass this time. Here comes Ramirez with a little bit of pressure. Gets rid of it at the last second. Almost picked off. Alex Solis once again. Just playing safety out there in the center field. Almost picked that one off. Great defense by Weslaco East.
Yeah, Solis coming up and breaking on the ball just at the right time to knock it down. Make sure that reception isn't made.
How important is Ramirez, though? How important is this guy? He gets off the ball nicely. You know, he didn't make the tackle, but he had a beat on the quarterback, and Pettis knows he's coming. He's been hit all game long. He's got to get rid of it. That really helps out that secondary.
And I'll tell you what, guys from Mercedes, Albert Chavez, he's going to have to be thinking about those 2 bookends, number 80 coming from one side and number 88 coming from the other a couple of weeks from now.
Got a little pressure look coming up the middle right here.
Steven Estevanes, look at that.
Estevanes, but this is going to be, you see, they try to set up a screenplay, which is the right call, but you got to hold up that linebacker at least a little bit. If not, he's just going to get at you. And there is the speed once again.
That's right.
We talked about the speed of the East Wildcats on defense. Estevanes, was that Estevanes?
Yes, it was.
I mean, just good pressure right there with the speed.
Young linebacker. He's barely a junior this year, you know, and he's coming back. He's a veteran. He played last year. He's got a good nose for the football, and, you know, he's tough.
So the Lobos will say, you know what, let's just get rid of it, guys. Greenwood will be doing the punting, number 71, another lineman for the Lobos. Frank Ramirez putting a little bit of pressure there. That's a nice high punt right there. And Guzman or Gonzales, Salinas actually will just get rid of it or stay away from it. Good crowd still on hand on the other side of the field. We're coming once again from the band section. Got the drums over here on our left. And but the Wildcat fans still over there in this football game. A lot of parents, a lot of fans traveled all the way from Weslaco to Brownsville. There you go, you see a good shot of the crowd, home crowd. 32 4A school, Weslaco East. Just dominating this football game. It's been a very, very good game here tonight. Fourth quarter action. Under 5 minutes now remaining in this game, 35-14. Do we have a new quarterback? Nope, Salinas still in there.
Uh-oh.
And he'll give the ball. Is that Salinas? Nope.
See you
it's
later.
13. That's Bobby Gonzales once again running with the ball. 40-35. Finally stopped at the 25-yard line. Nice little run for Gonzales. Well over 200 yards rushing now for sure.
Yeah, it's Bobby Gonzales at his best. Just starts off on the right-hand side of the line and then breaks back to the against the grain to the left and just huge hole.
41-yard carry on the play.
Nice run for Gonzales. 41 yards. Moving into Lobo territory. 26-yard line, he's finally stopped. But yeah, that's probably the play we talked about earlier where he was looking for the cutback, but he kind of slipped a little bit at the line of scrimmage or he was hit. Same play. But that time, he goes for 41 yards. Procedure again, yeah. You know.
And this time you've got in the backfield, you got Munguia at the fullback and Guzman at the tailback position.
You know, that'll get the attention of the coaches for sure. That'll get the attention of this football team when you think that you're just going to go over there to Ed Couch Elsa and just run over the team Coach is going to talk about these mental errors and cleaning that stuff up before next week. So those are the things that you kind of need to work on right now in this football game. It's kind of just a practice now. Yeah, clock's continuing to go, and so is the play clock. So they got to hurry up here. First down now, 15 to go. Up the middle, that's Guzman. He's your big boy. It's hard to bring down. Hey, and he shows a little bit of quickness there too. How about that little move? A little stop and go for him. He almost stopped completely. Then on a dime, he takes off and picks up a good 14 yards.
Nice little stutter step there. Looked like a basketball move. Took him to the inside, then juked him out back to the other side. Guzman showing some versatility on the ground as well. Then again, you know, we've seen him punch it in 8 times already for the year. They're getting to that area inside the 10 where, you know, he can just smell the end zone.
He's like the closer.
Yeah.
He's like the closer. You know, you always have to have a closer, someone you can give the ball when you're inside that 20-yard line and you know he's going to take care of the football and punch it in. That's Guzman. That's where he has so many touchdowns. Second down, about 3 yards to go. Ball on the 18-yard line. They give it to Guzman once again. Breaks the tackle. Yeah, he's hard to bring down. Spins around. Finally brought down around the 10. Picks up the first down. Nice little run for Brian Guzman, the junior from Weslaco East.
Wow, just a junior.
Yep, and he's one of those guys that could have played as a sophomore, but they had a stable of backs. You had Andrew Alvarado,
Ricky Alanis,
Addison, a bunch of other guys. Yeah. Clock continues to roll. We're right at 3 minutes remaining in this game. Weslaco East trying to put some more points on the board, and why not? Give it to Gonzales. He's been the workhorse here tonight, right up the middle. And the clock will continue to roll. 35-14, the Wildcats. They're going to go into next week's big contest undefeated. 3-0 on the season, 3 big wins. They're going to have a lot of confidence. There's going to be a lot of excitement next week. There's going to be
and a lot of momentum.
A lot of momentum. There's going to be a pep rally, I'm sure, at the school. Do they still have pep rallies? I don't know. I'm not at the school, but I'm sure there's going to be a great pep rally next week for this football team. A lot of fan support there in Westfield. A lot of excitement for the Wildcats. A lot of excitement for this guy right here, Bobby Gonzales. Oh, my God. I thought he was going in, but once again, that old jersey pull.
That shirt string tackle that we talked about earlier.
Holds him up right there and doesn't get in the end zone.
Let's give a little credit to that guy. I mean, you got a guy running full speed and you're able to bring him down, just dragging him with one arm.
Got to have some strength in those arms and those hands, huh?
I'll tell you what, the ball's inside the 5. Guess who's going to get it?
Got to give it to Guzman. We'll see what happens. He's the big fullback. He's in that fullback spot. Got the receiver to the far side. But you also got to remember about Arevalo. Sometimes they even use him as a decoy. Or not as a decoy, but they'll pass it to him. But it's Guzman inside the 5-yard line, and he carries tacklers into the end zone.
And there you've got
for the score. 41. Torres will come out here to attempt the point after touchdown. Man, this football team dominated that offensive line. Have we even seen the Lobos in the backfield? If we have, not much here tonight.
Maybe once.
Maybe once or twice, a little breakdown.
And that's because they probably jumped off sides to get back there.
Yeah. Salinas will hold. Torres, he's been perfect all game long. And a little wobbly, but it gets in there. PAT good, 42-14, 128 left in this game. This is the way you like to wrap it up.
That's right. And again, we're talking about that dominant line of Joseph Garcia, Kat Salazar, Abraham Trejo, Eric Valdez, Brian Maldonado, and Carlos Cueta every once in a while coming in the sophomore.
Yep.
Just opening up some gigantic holes. I mean, we don't know the official stats for Bobby Gonzales, but he's got to be well over 200. And Brian Guzman, 2 touchdowns, giving him 9 on the year. And, you know, let's not forget that Addison Einhorn didn't play in the game. And let's not forget the fact that the defense has just done a tremendous job shutting down the Lobos. And let's not forget the fact that we only threw the ball like 5 times during the game.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the things I wanted to touch on in talking to Coach Guarda before the game, he says that he tells his players, hey, we're playing not only for this year, but we're also playing for all the years past. When Weslaco East with 0-10, was 1-9, you know, all those years where they had the hard times and they weren't as successful, but they had the players. They had the Marinases and the Rosaleses and the Unihosas who were on those football teams at the very beginning of the school's existence.
That's right.
And never made it to the playoffs. And I like that he was saying, hey, you know what? You're playing for pride here. You're playing for the community. You're playing for all the graduates at Weslaco East who helped build this program from the very beginning. And one of the things that he brought up was the weight room, and how when they built that weight room, that this team just got stronger, faster, and much better.
That's right, Carlos. You're talking about some players who laid the foundation for what you're seeing here today and what you're going to see here for the next 3 years. Players like Justin Sherman, Artie Hinojosa, Daniel Gonzales, arguably one of the better running backs that Weslaco East has seen. The Marines boy. I'm thinking Frankie Ness on the left-hand side of the line, along with Donald Moore, who's now playing college ball. All those guys laid the foundation for what we're seeing out here today. And yeah, it started off a little slow. Weslaco East 0-10, 1-9, but they've built a tradition now, and they've built a program over the last 9 years. And people need to understand that when you start off a new high school, that it's going to take 4 or 5 years just to get things rolling. And they started at a disadvantage because I think they were playing at the varsity level with a bunch of sophomores.
Bettis continuing in this football game with a nice little pass. Yeah, they could have played a JV schedule. And Coach Guetta said, no, we want a varsity schedule. And they had sophomore. I think they had some juniors. I'm not too clear on that, but they were a young team. And they went out there and they battled hard. They were, 0-10. They got their first win, though, that next year. They beat Rome in a driving rainstorm. 6-0 was the final score in that game. I was over there, and that was just an incredible win for them. And Bettis, almost intercepted.
And then almost caught.
Alex Solis, yeah, that was one of those crazy plays. So Weslaco East has come a long way. For those of us that are from Weslaco and that's followed this team from day one, and we know these coaches that have been there forever. Coach Cuet, you got to give him a lot of credit. Taking some heat, over the past few years for having some teams that never made the playoffs, and wins were few and far between. He's put together a nice organization over there. And they are doing just an outstanding job. But going back to that weight room, they got quicker, they got stronger, but not just in football, but also in all the other sports as well. Powerlifting, wrestling has been very, very successful over there at Weslaco East. So that weight room over there, which is one of the top facilities in the entire valley, the same one that Weslaco High has, almost identical, that has helped all sports. It also minimizes injuries. You're quicker, stronger, faster, and minimizes injuries as well. Pass is caught down the field. Bettis completes that one. But this game is
well in hand.
42-17 or 42-14. Under a minute to go in this contest.
People need to take notice if they haven't already, and I've said this a couple of times each game. These guys are for real. People always ask me, how good is East? I said they're very good. They're fundamentally sound, and people may say, well, their schedule hasn't been the strongest in the world. But you know what? They've gone out there and they've done what they're supposed to do, and that's dominate the other team.
How can you ignore what they did last year? How can you ignore that 8-2, a heartbreak loss to Mercedes?
Look at Alan Garcia over there, almost picking up another pass.
A heartbreak loss to Mercedes, a game at Cal Chelsea. They had them against the ropes for about 3 quarters. And then another heartbreaker to Flower Bluff. They have only 3 losses last year.
They played Flower Bluff twice in the last 2 years in the playoffs, once over there and once here. And I think the margin of loss between both games was less than 6 points.
Yeah. No, this is a team you got to look out for. You got to look out for it. Coach Cueta said, we've never been ranked before. We've never been ranked. Now we're ranked. How are these kids going to handle it? One thing I like about Coach Cueta, he's been there before. He's a long-time coach, been coaching in the Valley before. He's won district championships before. He's won playoff games over at Weslaco High. He knows how to handle it.
They talk about how do you handle adversity. Well, how do you handle prosperity as well,
Yeah, that's
the kids got to look at it from 2 different things.
Yeah.
Look at this guy with just one hand brought him down. Unbelievable play.
That's a good problem to have, though.
That's 35.
Nick Gonzales also in that play.
Nick Gonzales. One hand. He's got a defender on top of him, and he still brings the guy down. There's that weight room, right?
Yeah. You got to give credit to the administration for building that weight room. We got some really top-notch facilities over there, and now the press box is going up. It's going to be a real nice press box. The stadium is beautiful. You've talked about it. It's like a college atmosphere. It's a college atmosphere when you go to these football games. And
And you know, the kids,
it's a tribute to all the success they've had.
The athletes really enjoy playing in those kind of environments. And you'll see now that the traditions are built at both schools. There's a lot of more athletes coming out and getting involved in the different activities, not only football, but soccer and volleyball and baseball and swimming. Just tremendous programs, and these kids are excelling not only on the field, but in the classroom as well.
Yeah, a new aquatic center going up. That's going to be nice. Going to have more kids, more athletes going out for swimming. Going down the field, Bettis trying to put something on the board, going to his receiver. It's incomplete. 32 seconds remaining in the game.
Candenosa, again, we've said that name at least, 8 times today. Now, normally we see him in the backfield making a play. Now we see him way deep in the secondary, batting the ball down.
Third down for the Lopez Lobos. It's been fun. It's been fun to watch this football team. There's many games where Weslaco East was on the other end, but
the tide has turned.
Terry Byler and I have had to watch this team, you know, endure some painful years. They've had to pay their dues. And now it's all coming. It's very entertaining to watch this football team. If you haven't come out to watch Weslaco East, come out and watch them. It's fun. Here we go. Bettis, he's going to take off with this one, showing his speed, trying to get to the end zone here with 24 seconds remaining in the game. He's getting knocked out of bounds. Gets knocked out of bounds.
20-yard run of the play. First and goal for the Lobos.
And success breeds success for Weslaco East. Look at that JV team. Look at that freshman team. They're winning. They're dominating their opponents. Talking about the football teams. Talking to Coach Guerrero the game, he's just bragging about his program altogether, as well he should.
Yeah, and I've talked to some of the athletes out there that have siblings that are coming up, and they're just excited and looking forward to becoming a Wildcat as well. And we mentioned some of the brothers that are playing now and that have siblings coming up. Again, the Salinases and the Salazars, the Guzmans. It's become now a family affair, and that's a really neat thing to see.
It's been fun to see this tradition start at Weslaco East, and got to give a lot of credit also to Sue Peterson, the principal over there, who's been there since day one, and what has she put together there, and a lot of pride at Weslaco East. When you go over there, they have that saying, East Side, Strong Side. And
yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit, Carlos. East Side, Strong Side, and maybe share with the people that are listening the story behind it and where that came up, where they came up with that line.
Well, it just came up during practice one time. You know, you got to say strong side, weak side. It's a call used in defense, and I think it was actually Frank Hines who brought it up. East side. He just said strong side. Or strong side, east side, strong side. So that's where it all started. Just during practice, they were just, throwing things around, and they kind of liked it. They picked up from that, and they've been saying east side, strong side. Touchdown Lobos, and they've been saying that since then.
Yeah.
East side's a strong side,
That's, I think that's something that the phrase was coined, if you will, by Frank Hines and Donald Moore.
Yeah. During practice.
I know that during practice they were telling Coach Burgett that they wanted the ball run to their side, the strong side, and I think they were on the east side of the field at the time. And so they came up with that, and it's been their slogan ever since, and they're very proud of it. And as Lopez goes in and scores, somebody may pick up the newspaper tomorrow and see the score 42-21 and say, wow, they give them a real run for their money. But, this has just been truly a dominant performance by Weslaco East. And the band, of course, has dominated things here where you and I are at.
Been a great game here for Weslaco East fans, and we'll have it this way. I mean, yeah, we like the close nail-biters as well, but, hey, we'll take a blowout win anytime.
That's right. It's been a great game.
I don't mind that at all.
On both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. Bobby Gonzales, again, just a phenomenal game. Brian Guzman, 2 touchdowns. He's got 4 and then 3 and then 2. So, I mean, it sounds like he's declining, but you know what? Not a lot of people can say they score even 2 in one game. This young man's got 9 already on the season through 3 games.
I think you got to give, and we do give them a lot of credit, but that offensive line over the past 2 years has just been dominant. And I've seen a couple of articles that have come in the paper about them and being one of the best offensive lines in the Rio Grande Valley, and it's true. When you got Andrew Alvarado, who's one of the leading rushers in the entire state, he's fast, he's quick, but you got to give credit to that offensive line. And here you go once again, this year again, whether it's Einhorn Guzman or Gonzales
Salinas,
or someone else.
Munguia.
If you're fast enough, you're big enough, you know, and there's a hole pretty big. Who you got to give credit to that offensive line.
That's right. And Coach Rock just does a tremendous job with those guys. And you know, I hate to beat a word into the ground, but it's fundamentals. And they do the fundamental things. Their techniques are so fundamentally sound that those holes are being opened up for those running backs.
Yeah, and you think you got these guys that are big, you know, 200 plus, 250 plus onside kick here. And that's I think that's Ramirez over there.
Guess who, right?
Yeah, Frank Ramirez with a recovery. But not only, and I did a story for them on KWES a few years, or last year I should say, not only these guys big and strong, but they have good feet. You know, and you have to move to your position to make the block. So you got to be able to run down the field. You know, whether it's 10 yards or 15 yards down the field, you got to get there. So if you're 250 plus, but you can't move, you're going to be sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
So these guys are athletes. These offensive line guys, they're big and strong, but they can move. They're athletic down there.
How many times have we been watching the game or commenting, and we're talking about Cat Salazar 15 yards down throwing a block?
Blocking
many
downfield,
times.
yeah.
Here we go, classic thing. Weslaco East just going to snap the ball and take a knee. Obviously, 18 seconds they could score.
Yeah, just kill the clock right here. Salinas will just kneel it down, and that'll probably be the last play. It sure will be the last play of the game. It was a fun game. Don't let anyone tell you that blowouts are not fun, because I enjoyed this football game. And I'm sure Coach Gued and the Wildcats did as well. Final score in this game as the clock runs down. Weslaco East 42, Brownsville Lopez 21. The Wildcats will face Ed Chelsea next week. They go into that game 3-0 on the season. Ed Chelsea also undefeated. I'd like to give a special thanks to Rafael Cavazos. Ed Chelsea lost, right? To Harlingen, 2-1. Rafael Cavazos, who traveled over here to shoot this football game. He's the only one from KWES here from the staff to shoot the game. Thanks to him as he's getting all the photos downfield. David Fox, once again, color commentary, helps us out for these football games. We'll be there next week together, right?
Yes,
yep.
I will.
We'll be up there next week. Final thoughts on this football game. We've had a whole half to really close this game. Anything else stands out you'd like to say?
Yeah, I think we've covered everything, and nothing but accolades for the Wildcats and the way they played, and the coaching staff for having prepared them for this game. You know, again, they may have come in here a little high on what they've done, and not sure how they were going to react to playing one of these 5A schools, and yet a dominant performance as a team. You know, they did it on the offensive side of the ball, they did it on the defensive side of the ball, and they probably would have done it on the special teams had they been given an opportunity, but, you know, thankful that they didn't have to do it in the special teams. And as you see Coach Brown huddling them up and getting them ready for their celebratory dance, you know, we only hope and wish for good things coming up next Friday as we travel into what they call the Black Hole over in Ed Chelsea, and looking forward to handing them their first. I don't remember again them losing any district games in the last 6 years, but certainly poised. The Wildcats are poised to go in there and hand them that loss.
We'll see how it goes. Congratulations once again to Weslaco. It's going to be a fun week leading up to that Ed Chelsea game. A lot of media attention. Going to be a fun pep rally. Congratulations, Coach Gued. Congratulations, Weslaco East. They deserve everything they're getting this week. For David Fox, Rafael Cavazos, I'm Carlos Robledo. Good night, everyone.